Light flicker, shadows fall. Hawxy screaming down the hall. Shieldz got fire in his veins. Calls it out, no time for games. Mark out of 10, he's tearing it down. Mark out of 10, no room for clowns. A-W shite program will say. Mark out of 10, no backing away.
Welcome everyone to Mark Out of 10, the wrestling podcast where opinions mean everything and nothing at the same time. But for the first time, it's not the usual opinions that you're used to getting, but those of a special guest. Tonight our guest talks about his love story with wrestling, being part of the business himself, and also reveals his top 10 wrestlers. Let's get this started. First of all, I am the Mark Shieldz, and my co-host, the man who's taken more bumps than Jeff Hardy's coffee table, the housewife's favourite heel, Hawxy. How are we doing, Hawxy?
Jesus Christ. Not as many as Tony Khan, though, I would imagine. But yeah, I'm very, very well, allegedly. I'm really good. I'm already trying to hold it together. The way my screen is laid out, the Paul is the one which is closest to where my webcam is. So in order for me to look at the people who are watching this, I've just got his little face. And he's already set me off about 3 times. We've been live for about 30 seconds.
Okay, let's talk about our guests. Some people say wrestling's all about keeping your eye on the prize. Well, he's got that sorted, literally. Please welcome the head of the family, merch-making maestro, and master of the one-eyed stare-down, Mr. Paul Palmer. Welcome, mate. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. And to be honest, Shieldz, it's Mr. Paul to you.
Oh,
all right.
Okay, Mr. Paul. Okay, Mr. Paul. That's fine. That's fine.
Keeping kayfabe.
Get him fucking out.
Keeping kayfabe. You know, it's really funny. I just did a birthday message for one of the wrestlers at TTW for his kid, and they said, just keep it in character. And I said, it's your birthday. It gives you shit. I ain't bothered. If I see you again, I'll get one of my boys to give you a slap. Now get out of it.
Jesus Christ. So obviously we'll talk about TTW as we go on tonight.
Sorry.
But no, that's absolutely fine. It's a good segue, so thank you for that. It's flawless. For anybody that doesn't know you, obviously we've got a lot of TTW listeners, but there are a few people that don't. Just give us a bit about yourself. How would you describe yourself in the world of wrestling, that sort of thing?
I would describe myself as somebody who's crowbarred their way into wrestling. I've never ever took one bump, never took a slap, nor a hit, nor nothing. But I've got into the wrestling business purely by the fact that I've blagged it by saying I can do artwork and posters and saying that I can do things like talk a lot and talk a lot of shit. And they believe me, and now I'm here now doing this. It's wonderful. You believe me. You took the bait. I love it.
Oh, man. So
thank you. 50 quid in the post.
So, Hawxy, you talk a bit about it. So, obviously, you know Paul quite well, right?
Yes, yeah, I mean, Paul's selling himself a little bit short there, to be fair. I mean, he has whizzed his way into the business, to be fair, but I think you've won...
The man, whiz in!
Swizz Master General. No, but, mate, obviously you've been... I mean, you were involved a few years ago with a few other bits and bobs in another promotion with us lads, knocking about, helping us out, getting involved with a few bits and bobs. Obviously, we had the Gary Poundland thing, which me and you and Jack, Gary, were involved in, and Andy as well, which was a real good bit of fun. Was that probably your first sort of involvement in it, in terms of getting involved,
yes.
Not necessarily as like a fan, like actually being sort of backstage and ringside, that kind of thing? Would that have been it?
Yes, it was that was the very first time that I'd even properly gone backstage into a wrestling company, and Dante took us in arms and said, "Shh, this is what we do." Shh. Told us all the secrets, the smoke and mirrors. It was wonderful. And then just a bloke farted. I was like, all right, so it's not what I'd imagined as an 8-year-old kid.
No.
But yeah, no, it was great. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that experience because it showed me that it was a laugh. And I know that you have the indies, and I know they have all these different stuff, but I loved it. It was a childhood experience coming to life, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And the great thing about Dan is he just said, "Look, let's not have any shit. This is what we're gonna do. This is what." I was like, "Oh, this is great."
That's what he does to me
It
with the
took care
podcast.
of
To be fair, he does that with me as well. So, so that first day, right? Obviously, going into backstage for the first time, what was going through your mind when you first went in there? Obviously, you were a fan beforehand, which we'll talk about in a wee bit. What was going through your mind when you first went through the curtain, through to the backstage to see all the boys and girls?
I have a background in magic, and with magic, like I've just said about smoke and mirrors, that is what wrestling is. It's that the kayfabe, the audience, and everything like that. And so when I went backstage, I was being exposed, not literally, but being exposed to
Maybe.
maybe
Tiny bit.
just a little bit. I was being exposed to what the real wrestling business was, not just the terminology, but like, this is how you plan a match. This is how we're going to do it. And I think I recently watched that match back that we were involved in, me, Gary Powell, and Andy, and it was absolutely brilliant because it was just what it needed. It was pure, as you said, pure pro wrestling. It was a little bit of this, a little bit of that. The audience loved it. They gobbled it up, and everybody went home happy.
Yeah.
And that's what it was about.
I've never
I absolutely adored it.
I've never been involved in a match which literally from the second you walked out to the second everybody walked back out again, everyone was there with it. The crowd were there. Like it wasn't like an up and down and a lull and a whatever sort of thing. It was really, I'll have to send you the link for that, Shields. I don't know if I've showed you that before. I'll have to send you the YouTube for that. It's me and my trainer, my mentor against these bunch of pricks. So it was really good fun. Yeah.
I mean, I came down to one where, like, Gary took a bump. Gary Penland took a bump from you. Was that after it?
This was before I met you. I'm sure.
Right.
Was
okay.
Before I knew you. Yeah. This was before 2020, wasn't it? This is like 2019, maybe 2018, 2019, something like that. I think. Was it prior or was it after COVID? I can't fucking remember.
I was trying to arrange it just before COVID, and then COVID hit.
Oh, yes. So, yeah, I did know you, but you weren't at that one.
I definitely came down to one where Gary Poundland was involved, right? And I remember Paul being in there shaking his cane, like the old bastard he is.
Oh, my God, was it that? It sounds really bad. I can't remember what I did last week, so I'm probably the worst person to fucking speak to.
That's all the bumps.
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't know if you were there, but either way, it was really good fun. It was proper pro wrestling. Good laugh, and like I said, done exactly what it said on the tin, if you know what I mean, what it needed to do. Yeah, it was really good fun. And it was
excellent.
It was interesting. You just mentioned about the sort of the magic thing there. Obviously Jack and Andy and you sort of entrenched in that sort of comedy aspect as well. It was really interesting to hear some of the sort of like similarities between like how we would sort of not necessarily plan a match, but like the psychology behind things are very similar. Like how you would set up a spot or set up a sequence into a move, and then you have that time to breathe to let the crowd respond, which is kind of similar to like setting up a joke or telling a joke and sort of like a sketch or whatever. That was really, really interesting. Sort of like the art form of pro wrestling, because it is. They don't call it a canvas for nothing. The art form of pro wrestling sort of mingles into the performance of like comedy or stage or magic or whatever. It was quite similar. That was really interesting.
It's the comparisons to comedy and wrestling. I like even now. I just go, fuck you know. Exactly how you can like what you've said. but even to like the wrestlers, and you have really shit wrestlers and really good wrestlers. Do you know what I mean? It's like, wow, it's so weird. It's so weird. If you've done comedy, it's going to be a piece of piss to slip into wrestling, and I'm sure vice versa. I can understand why somebody like Andy Kaufman actually did it,
Yeah,
because he went, "Oh, this is easy. I get it. I absolutely get it. Yeah, it's mad.
yeah,
It's absolutely mad.
yeah. Suspending that
Yeah.
disbelief for somebody
Oh
like
yeah,
him, it's not a big stretch of his skill set. Somebody like that, yeah, agreed. That's a good shout.
yeah.
Great shout.
As long as you're all right at talking,
Yeah.
as long as you're all right at talking, you know what I mean. You can go out there and be a complete bellend. Thanks. Do you know what I mean? It's absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Perfect. Okay. Right. Before we get talk more talk more about wrestling with you, Paul. There is a few bits of news in the wrestling world that we're going to talk through as a collective. First one is the big one that's been plastered all over social media. Is Naomi, the current world heavyweight champion in WWE, women's world heavyweight champion? She is pregnant, so congratulations to Naomi and to Big Jim. What are our thoughts about where the world heavyweight title goes next? What would be, if you got the pencil, what would be your next move for the women's world heavyweight title?
Me,
Yep.
Yeah, Paul, go for it.
first of all, I'd like to say about Naomi being pregnant. I have to admit, I couldn't give a fuck. Right? It has no bearing on. It has no bearing on absolutely fuck all. Absolutely fuck all. They may have made Naomi to be some sort of something, but she's absolute fucking crap. So to see where it could be, I'm being genuine though. I couldn't give a fuck. I really couldn't give a fuck. It has no bearing on absolutely fuck all. If they need to go and do anything now, set it up so they go, right, here's the belt. Let's have a little whatever tournament of shite. And then either give it to somebody so Rhea can win it or give it to Rhea. I would like it if they just put it on somebody so they could get Rhea to win it at the next pay per view or at some next kind of thing, because Rhea should be there, should be fucking there, and they put it on a honestly just human dog shit that is Naomi. I just don't. I just
That's our first one
don't get it.
for the listeners and the viewers who are keeping score. That's our first human dog shit of the evening. Okay.
I need to edit a counter above one of our heads, right?
Yes, please do that. But if it's, I mean, I'm on the cusp of it being complete human dog shit as well. Do you know what I mean? It's just awful. It's just awful. I hope she's pregnant and then pregnant again and again and again and again.
For the rest of
I hope Jimmy. Yeah, I hope Jimmy does it like them, what is it? Those like Mormons where they just keep playing them as soon as they like, they just keep bang, 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 bang. Keep her out of fucking wrestling. I don't give a shit. Neon boots. Fuck off.
Aye. We've had lots of conversations about Naomi on the podcast before. I'm in the I'm in that camp. Maybe not as eloquent as you put it, Paul, but I'm definitely in that camp. She's got a little bit better, tiny bit better.
Yeah.
But I can't believe she come back and they put the fucking strap on her. Like it was crazy because she wasn't really over when she fucking left, and she hasn't exactly learnt a new hold or done anything special for her to come back. It's crazy.
I think she's been back for like well over 2 years now, right? And she has got.
Has it been that long?
Well, remember she came back for Elimination Chamber
It's not
in
been
Australia.
2 years.
Elimination Chamber
I
in.
thought she come back last year.
No, Elimination Chamber in Australia, which was 2 years ago.
Jesus Christ. I'll probably knocked it out of my head, to be fair. That's crazy.
I know she did TNA for what, 6 months, a year.
Really?
She was out there for doing something for a bit,
I'm just going to Google
and
this.
she was probably the only famous one there
I'm
for
telling.
about
I'm
6
talking
months.
shite. It was 2024, so it was last year, a year and a half ago. Then January
Year
27th.
and a half ago.
I mean,
Fair enough. Even so, it's close to 2 years.
that's crazy. Ah, she's gonna have a kid though, which is cute. I if I had the pencil, I would give it to Bianca Belair. Only as a heel.
Good shout.
I would give it to her as a heel Bianca, and then I would let her run and run and run until Rhea takes it at WrestleMania next year. That's what I would do.
That's a good
I
shout.
would book because I think Rhea and her are the they for that sort of side of things, they are the big two that I would put behind for the next sort of 12 months. To be fair, Rhea's the superstar, and Bianca can be she's size wise she's comparable. She's a decent worker. I think she's better as a heel. I think she's got heel charisma and sass and stuff. And when they have a match, they have a decent match. I like EO and I like Stephanie Vaca and I like Julia and all that sort of stuff. I don't think Julia and Stephanie Vaca are sort of maybe a little bit ready for that kind of thing yet. I think if you want like a superstar money drawing feud or program for 6 months, Rhea and Bianca are the ones to do it with. I think that's my opinion.
For me,
I like that.
For me, I think it'll go on to Bianca, but it'll go into Bianca as a babyface. And my cheeky moment would be Raquel Rodriguez beats her, because Raquel's going to get a big push in the next 3-4 months. I reckon.
Raquel and Rhea at Mania, because they blew it out the fucking park the other day, didn't they? With that street fight thing. Not bad, champ.
Because it's rumored that Raquel's going to get a massive push, but at the same time,
she fucking deserves it. She's been really good. Yeah.
I reckon this came maybe
She's-
2-3 months too early. It's like if this was like 2 or 3 months down the line, Raquel will be getting a massive push by then, and she would have been the natural selection. She would have carried all the way to Mania.
Interesting.
Wait and see.
Raquel's got a little bit of size on her as well,
Yeah.
in comparison to, say, somebody like Liv Morgan or a lot of the NXT people coming through. They all seem to be 5'1", as if it's like a primary school, meeting for WWE. Hey, look, kids, look at all this. Oh no, we're wrestlers. You're not. Look at Rhea. Look at Bianca. They're bigger. They're a lot stronger, and that's what is the difference, I believe, to making that title, make that title fucking worthwhile. Make it fucking
It's the
worthwhile.
big belt, isn't it, for them? It's the main one, isn't it?
Yeah, it should
is the
be.
main one. Like,
It should be the big
I
belt.
get like EO's kind of, she can work above her station, but like when you've got, is it Roxanne Perez, the other one? Like when she's running the middle ropes like Rey Mysterio, then you know you're small. And people might say to me, "Oh fucking hell!" But Rey Mysterio run them. Rey's different. Rey is the exemption that proves the rule. You cannot compare Rey Mysterio to anything else apart from he is Rey Mysterio. You use him as like a benchmark for people, if you know what I mean. Roxanne Perez is not Rey Mysterio. Let's be honest. I can't see Roxanne Perez in a match with Rhea Ripley and have her look fucking competitive and legitimate. She maybe get boo bar bing bong whatever, but she should just get absolutely splatted within 8 minutes. You know what I mean? It's frustrating.
Yeah. This is where the EO comparison is like, I don't mind EO going up against a Rhea Ripley because she brings a legitness because she's good. It sort of reminds me of like a Gail Kim versus Awesome Kong.
Yeah.
It's that sort of mentality, the smaller woman, but still really, really capable. Liv Morgan's not quite there yet, but she's over as shit, and like she's got a great look, but she'll bump her fucking like.
Liv needs a Raquel.
Yeah,
Liv is fucking amazing at what she does, but when she's like 1-on-1 with somebody, it takes away like her strengths are being a piece of shit heel, like a chicken shit heel with a big manager. Like it's the She's amazing at it. She's amazing at it, and she can scrap
Yeah.
away and she can scratch away and claw away at stuff. But she needs a leg trip, or she needs a fucking someone to get on the apron or something. You know what I mean, she needs that kind of thing. She needs a heater basically because she's smaller. She's not
Are you
Perez
saying
size.
that?
You know what I mean?
Are you saying Raquel is Diesel to Liv Morgan,
Liv
Shawn
Morgan,
Michaels?
Shawn Michaels, 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
1,000,000%.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's a lot
Okay,
to go
so-
with. Let's be honest, right? We've just spent best part of like 7 minutes talking about a women's part of the segment. You're like normally we're like, yeah, fucking whatever. Like, let's do it. Like, there's lots to go at here. They've actually got some star power when it comes to the women now, which is really interesting. I think it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see where they go. We really will.
Absolutely.
And Bianca,
They just need to make that belt legitimate.
yeah,
Because now it's the perfect time for how WWE have been doing. They need to make that belt legitimate.
Yeah.
Because that belt should equal star power, and it shouldn't be on this. What's her name? Vacariva or whatever they're fucking called.
Stephanie Baker.
All these mad. Yes, all of these fucking stuff names.
She's the next in
They
line.
should be putting
She'll be the next in line.
But I do think the only kind of small person that is legitimately worth putting it on is Becky Lynch. In comparison, when you have Rhea or Bianca, Becky Lynch is smaller. She is, but she is class throughout. She can talk, and she's fucking amazing.
I think
That is somebody you would go on.
I
Sorry,
think
go on.
with her, she's taller, so she's not as jacked or as stacked as like a Bianca or whatever. But at least she's got a little bit of like height and sort of size to her. If you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
she's like Roxanne Perez, who's probably 5 foot tops. You know what I mean? It's like it's a bit of a situation, isn't it? So it's yeah.
You know who I would love to see the belt on?
Go on.
Asuka. I would love to see her going on like an NXT type Asuka run where she just fucking murders everyone. She's just unstoppable because she's got it in her locker. She's fucking incredible. The matches she could put on with Rhea and Bianca and stuff would be great.
Yeah.
Just think.
But she brings legitimacy to it though, doesn't she? Because she can fucking throw. Let's be fair. She can go and she can fucking throw hands and stuff, and it adds a little bit to it. And her presentation is sort of that level. Yeah, Asuka's good. Asuka's a good shout. Will she not be on the other side of that? The other side of the brand with like Tiffy and all that lot, or is she on Raw?
I don't know. She always pops up with like an Io moment in Raw, right?
So
it's
often.
like
yeah.
I mean, another shout is Bailey. We haven't even talked about Bailey. Like Bailey would be a good shout.
I think Bailey would be the other side. I think she's mixed in with all them lot. I think with Lyra, fucking
Lyra and Becky. Lyra Valkyria.
Valkyria. There we go.
Yeah.
Lyra Valkyria.
What's your thoughts on Lyra Valkyria, Paul?
Doesn't pass the name test for me. Go on.
Couldn't give a fuck, really, I'm being honest. Give it 2 more years and they may have something there, but it just seems like they go, hey, look, we've got this person. We're going to make them a star in 6 weeks. Yeah. And it's like, nah, it's like, it's more than that. It's more than that. I always think of, like, say, the 4 horsewomen really had to prove themselves in NXT and in Raw and SmackDown. They don't get that anymore. They go, here's the new one. Look at her. She's got a stupid name. And that's it. And I go, it's got to have more worth than that. It's got to have more worth than that. Becky, when she had her fucking nose exploded, proved that she was fucking hard. Do you know what I mean? Charlotte Flair literally is a dude in drag. Do you know what I mean? That's how fucking great she is. She really is. She's a legitimate bloke. Do you know what I mean? She's gonna knock fuck out of people.
Seen her and her dad in the same room.
Absolutely.
I think.
But they have to prove their worth.
Yeah.
that to prove their worth.
It's...
The views of Mr. Paul do
They
not
don't do-
constitute the opinions of Mark out of 10.
And so they
I
shouldn't.
think it's
Some of these people coming through are a bit human dog shit. They really are.
they've put like they put Lyra in like a featured match like instantly, didn't they? At WrestleMania with her and Becky.
Yeah.
Obviously they had the tag thing as well, and then they had the fucking heel turn, and then they had this, and they had that. They've really tried to like smash her over by like attaching her to Becky and like hoping like Becky would give her that rub, if you know what I mean. And I genuinely thought when I saw her sort of come up and be involved in that, I thought that was a really random sort of choice, because there's other people who I think are maybe a bit more over than her already, who could have done a little bit more. But I know obviously Becky and her are like mates, aren't they? You know what I mean? It's like she's like trained her and it's like mentored her and stuff. So she's probably just trying to get her mate over. But it's really interesting that was the choice they made, because I don't think many people were really into it. Really?
Yeah.
That much? I don't know.
I think also it's a lot of, in my opinion, a lot of it's to do with it being 2025. You know, it's all about the entrance, and they're trying to push that entrance over. You know, where it's like the woo
and the
woo,
bird thing,
like
and
the
everyone's
bird
got
thing,
a fucking chant, haven't they? Everyone's got a chant.
Yeah, exactly.
Now.
That
Everyone's
you
got
know,
a
it's
whoa
the most
or an
natural
ooh
one.
Or an ah, or like,
Yeah.
fuck off, boring. Jesus,
Absolutely.
I want more
So
fucking
the women's
signs in the crowd. That's what I want. I want signs. I want a Titantron that's got good shit on it. I don't want to woo. Everyone just like singing. Like Seth Rollins is meant to be one of the biggest heels in the company. Everyone sings his fucking song. The fuck's all that about? It's silly. Everybody wants to sing something.
Yeah.
Dante, doesn't he? Right?
No, I'd tell people to shut the fuck up. I'd change my music if someone fucking wanted to start chanting it. Fuck that. You're meant to be a heel. It's silly.
He's a heel.
Absolutely. Hold on a second. He's wearing white jeans. He's wearing white jeans. What was he thinking? He's wearing white jeans.
The white jeans are retired a long time ago. It's better than I'd take that over Sparkle Crotch any fucking day of the week anyway. So there we go.
Okay, boys. So the women's division's in good hands. Then we've established that. Next bit of news coming up is the WWE event in September. The PLE event in September is going to be classified as WrestlePalooza, which was a former ECW pay-per-view. And interestingly enough, it's coming head to head against AEW All Out, and a couple of matches have been announced. It's going to be Cena versus Brock and Drew versus Cody for the title. Thoughts on those two matches? Where do you think those are going to go? Anyone?
Dan, you take this one, mate.
It's obviously Cena just going through his greatest hits and stuff, isn't it? Yeah. I'd be very, very, very surprised if Brock was to beat him. I'd be very surprised. I don't know what we do after this. I don't know what they do after this, but I'd be really surprised if they did. If Brock beat him, to be fair. So how many dates has he got left now?
11.
11.
11?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's his last show was a Raw, wasn't it? Did we work this out?
Yeah, well, we had a look, didn't we? And it's like there's nothing really PLE like event in December.
And let's be fair, he can't lose the title in his last title run at fucking WrestlePalooza. Please, come on. He can't lose it at WrestlePalooza. Please. That's fucking obscene if that happens. Oh, dear.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, fire away.
Where is WrestlePalooza being held at?
It's in Minnesota, I think. I think it's in Minnesota. Minneapolis, sorry. Minneapolis.
Okay. I just had a thought if it was going to be in Philadelphia or something like that.
No, sorry.
Go on.
Sorry, no. Someone else has used WrestlePalooza this year for a name. That's why it's come up on Google.
Oh,
They're
really?
Gonna get sued.
Oh, no way.
They're going to get
Will
sued.
they, though? Yeah.
Well, essentially.
Don't know where it's going to be, but yeah, I don't see Brock going over here. I think that they've brought him back to a sort of mixed reception. And I think that him losing will be the slap in the wrist that he so rightly deserves. That'll be the thought of the management. So I think Cena will go over. But you're right. I don't know where it goes next for Cena. I would love to see him appear in TNA against Joe Hendry. I think that'd be really good.
It'd be good fun. It's in Indianapolis. Just found out it's in Indianapolis.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I just thought it may have been in what's it called, Philadelphia, which would have been excellent if they could have done that.
I think it's very strange that they've gone for this name. It's a bit left field for like a WWE to go for this. Like if you think about like all of the sort of big pay-per-view names they could have gone for, like obviously like WCW. You mean like they could have gone for fucking Starrcade or whatever? They could have gone for fucking Great American Bash. They could have gone for Halloween Havoc. Whatever. I know it's not Halloween, but you know what I mean. Like they could have gone for all these different names, and they've gone for WrestlePalooza, which wasn't really their main pay-per-view either. I think it's a bit. Is it a bit of a fuck you to Tony because he's a massive ECW mark? Just the fact that they can't.
Well,
that's exactly what it is. I think. Yeah. He's going to turn. He's what's his name? Triple H is going to turn around and say, "Look, even our third brand promotion that we brought is beating AEW.
Yeah.
So fuck
a
you,
brand
Tony
we
Khan.
got for fuck all, and we use a random PLE name from fucking
not even an
years ago.
ECW third tier pay-per-view that can beat your like third biggest event on your calendar. That's exactly what's going to happen. 100%.
Oh
yeah,
that's just a massive
mad, isn't it?
dick swinging competition, isn't it? It's fucking brilliant. This is what I want, though, man. I want this. I want these snidey fucking. I want these snipes and these fuck yous and this is what I want. Give me prime fuck you wrestling. Interpromotional bullshit. That's what I want. Give me that. Give me it. Just to be a dick. So all of us lot can be like, that's why they're doing it. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Give it me. That's what we want. It's fun. It makes it fun.
I've got a feeling as well that the two matches, the Brock versus Cena, the Drew versus Cody, are gonna be fucking brilliant as well.
Do you reckon?
I really do.
If they are doing this WrestlePalooza thing, do you reckon they might lean into an ECW sort of presentation or not?
A little bit more extreme for the EC part. Extreme.
I mean, that could work. That could work for Cena Brock because Brock is just a fucking animal, and John Cena can't go as hard as he used to be able to. That's a fucking that's slander. That's slander right there. But yeah, I think that could cover up like a multitude of sins if they do a hardcore type match with Cena and Brock, and it like Brock will bump for him. Like he'll take all the big hits.
He'll have to. He'll have to.
Yeah, because Cena's not going to get busted open because he's filming, right?
Daddy said so. Yeah,
pretty much. It's Drew and Cody that I'm interested in because Drew's work over the last fucking 18 months has been stellar, and he deserves a run with a title. And it's just absolute.
Yep.
It's ridiculous that he hasn't.
He's not going to get this one though. He's not going to get this one. I agree with what you're saying. I'm not poo-pooing that at all. He's been doing some of the best shit, hasn't he? Let's be fair.
It could be a bloodbath as well, though. It really could be a bloodbath.
I think
it could be.
That's a good shout, Cody.
Really fucking cool.
Cody and Drew would definitely juice if they had to. I think out of the two matches, they're the boys who's going to get the colour, aren't they? To be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't be.
It'll probably be a fun
run. Sorry, Paul.
Yeah, you despise him, don't you? I like the Cody. I really do. I like the Cody. There's something about him. There's something that really is significant for this moment in time with Cody. There's something that in 30 years' time we're going to say, yeah, Cody was the man there, in the same way that people say about Hulk Hogan.
Nah,
it's all about
shot.
that.
No fucking danger.
No. In the sense that it's the Netflix era, and Cody was the top person for that. That's what they're going to look at. In the same way that you had Cena for Make a Wish, and do you know what I mean? Cody is now the brand ambassador for WWE. If you think of WWE, yes, Cena's got the all the accolades and is the main guy right at this moment in time. But in 6 months' time, it's going to be Cody again, and it'll be Cody again for another 2 or 3 years until they got something. Until Bron Breakker comes out and he's yep, there you go.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate he's the cash cow, right? He's the modern cash cow until Braun comes along. But his babyface stuff is just shockingly shit. It is so bad. I mean, I'll die in this hell, man. Honestly, it's ridiculous. You know what will happen? He'll turn heel eventually, and we'll talk about Cody Rhodes in the same way we talk about Triple H, right? Because Triple H was the best heel in the business for a good 2-3 years. No one ever talks to him about being a really good babyface, and that's exactly what's going to happen with Cody Rhodes, right? Cody Rhodes will eventually turn heel, and he'll skyrocket because he's going to be simply the best heel in the business, bar none. Guaranteed.
Cody isn't the people we want. Isn't the person we want right now, but I think he's the person that we need right now, and that's the only way that I can explain it.
It's the only person we've got.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree what Dan says there.
He's,
I can just imagine Cody's heel run being shit. Just to see Shield's face. Just to see it.
He'll be.
I think he'll fucking melt.
He'll turn it into like the boys' character when he into Peacekeeper. Like that's what he'll do.
Homelander. Yeah, Homelander. Yeah. Oh, fucking 100%. He will do that. 100%.
Which would be really, really good. It'll get there. You either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain, right? I've said this a few times about Cody, but right now, Cody's needed. Basically, he's the what other babyface are you going to plug into what he's doing right now? Who's at that level of you mean fucking hugging the babies and fucking kissing the hands and doing all the fucking sign-ins and doing all the radio and the TV.
He's a necessary evil. He's a necessary evil, 100%.
He's the person we need. We just don't. You not necessarily want him, but he that is what we need right now because nobody else can do that.
Yeah,
no one else can do it.
He's the JFK of WWE.
Hopefully, he doesn't get his head blown off in a fucking.
Well, I was going to go a totally different angle there, Hawxy, but you know, I was going to find a grassy fucking knoll, to be honest.
So,
I mean,
like, it will happen, but it's just there's no one else who can do that right now. There's no one else who can do it. It's not just about the fucking wrestling anymore, especially now. I think it is more. It's more not about the wrestling now than it has ever been. I touched on this a little bit last week when I was talking about like TKO or WWE wanting to like take over the world without actually fucking taking a bump, if you know what I mean. They're literally doing everything they possibly can to be massively like just this huge thing without worrying about anything that's happening in the ring. Fucking WrestleMania, I think there was more time. There was less time in matches than there was time out of matches. Like for the WrestleMania, like in terms of bell to bell, like they're mass. We're having the wool pulled over our eyes because of how good it is right now and how amazingly like we got all these options, we got all these things going on, we got these amazing matches and these moments and stuff. It's like as a fan, you're like, fucking hell, this is amazing. But when you take it away, there is so much shit that is just shit. It's never been less about the wrestling than it is right now. We're lucky. We're lucky we've got a good product. If this was like it was 5 years ago, us lot, we probably would be watching AEW right now. And
of course we would.
Forcing ourselves to enjoy watching it. Because this... Mate, we tried to watch fucking Crown Jewel 2018 the other week. Imagine that level of booking with all of the stuff that isn't happening right now. Just think about that. So we're lucky. We're lucky to have Cody, okay? So can't you fucking...
Do you remember...
Blessings.
Do you remember the Golden Egg Survivor Series bollocks?
The egg.
What the fuck was that?
The egg.
The egg.
Egg.
I mean,
All of
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Dan. Because if you think about it, right, it is less about the wrestling, and they're like saying this is extra sizzle now. We don't even have steak anymore. Here's the sizzle, and it's fucking good. They gave Naomi 10 minutes to tell everyone that she was pregnant. There you go. There you go. And everybody lapped it up.
some of the best main
Mad.
events that we've had on weekly television for the last fucking 18 months have been the promos where someone's come out and done something, somebody else has come out and said something, somebody else has come out and said something, and something's happened. Fucking like contract signings, they're 20-minute main events. And
Yeah.
nobody cares. No one gives a fuck.
Yeah.
We used to moan about Triple H coming out at the start of Raw for 20 minutes. Now they just do it all at the end and everyone's fucking singing everyone's song and going home happy. It's fucking crazy. But it's good.
You,
It's good. What they're giving us at the minute is good.
Yeah.
So let's appreciate
Yeah.
it, because
Yeah.
sometimes you don't know what you've got until it's gone, right? So,
Yeah.
yes, let's just, we're lucky.
Well,
We're in a good
that's a nice
spot.
little segue. You don't know what you've got until you're gone, because the final bit of news we're going to talk about tonight is someone that we all appreciated for a long, long time, and then he went to AEW and became a meme of himself, really, and that's one Chris Jericho. The rumour is that his AEW contract is expiring, and the rumours are he's WWE bound. One, should it happen? And two, how would you play it out?
Go on, mate.
Any one of you?
Go on, Paul. You take this one, mate. You take this one first. I'll chime in.
I'll be honest with you. I absolutely adore Chris Jericho as a career. From it's got to be 30 years now, his career. He is fucking amazing. Tip top, he has done everything. Everything you can think of, he's done it. And a lot of times he's done it his way. From WCW and the 1004 holds thing to, the Goldberg run that didn't happen, to going into WWE with The Rock doing the thing and the old 2YK to the present day. He's done everything. I think he is phenomenal. He would say that he's David Bowie. A lot of times he's been more David Brent. Do you know what I mean? But I can't take away his accolades and what he's actually achieved. I think he's absolutely stunning. I'll be honest, he's done fuck all in AEW because he went to AEW to try and set that up and has tried to be the legend star. Fair enough, okay. You need somebody to say, hey, look, we've set the promotion. Remember me? I get that. But to me, he's done fuck all, really. The MJF, Chris Jericho dance thing, the sing-song thing. Yep, that was a thing.
It made it to the New York Post, though. It made it to the New York Post.
It
Don't
did.
forget that.
It did.
Hell.
Yep. He's done fuck all. And to be fair, he's 4,000 years old. He should die a graceful death now. Right? If he goes to WWE, what is he actually going to do? What is he going to do? I look at Edge and Christian, right? They're going to do something or other, but they've got 6 months left in their tank, and Chris Jericho's probably got like 5 years age on them pair already. Who gives a shit? Who really, really gives a shit what he does next? If he goes to WWE, it'd be great if he did something like commentary or, I don't know, train some people. But if I never saw him on telly again after he left AEW, like millions of others, we wouldn't care. I think sometimes you've got to respect your legacy and just say goodbye. That's what I think.
Interesting. Hawxy?
I think he went to AEW as like an opportunity. Obviously, he's a very, very clever businessman. We need to take away, yeah. So we need to think about it from that perspective. Once again, we're not talking about fucking bumps here. We're talking about business, okay? and he's a very clever guy. So there's a couple of different ways that this can go. I heard that he'd signed a 10-year contract with AEW like 3 years ago. So I don't know where that thing's gone, or whether it was just a big fucking, you know, big bit of bullshit. But you've got, he went to AEW with a mission. I think he went there. He got paid a lot of money, but I think that he went there to prove a point. To say like I can do something here. At the time, he wasn't getting used. He was getting squashed quite a lot. Obviously, that new crop coming through the WWE, they want to use him, blah 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 blah. So he sort of went there and thought, you know what, I'm gonna. He was the first champ. You know what I mean? Fuck you guys. I'm gonna show you I'm a name. I can do what I need to do. And he sort of did for that first sort of 12 months. He was sort of sensible Jericho. But I think when he realised that the whole of AEW was just an absolute shit show, he just phoned it in and just couldn't be bothered anymore. And I think he was. It's probably most of the shit that he was doing. He was probably doing it on purpose just to take the piss. If you know what I mean, just like I can get away with this. They're paying me fucking $3 million a year to do what? To do this? Brilliant. I think for him, he needs to go back to get the Hall of Fame because I think that's a big deal now. So I think he needs to go back for that because that's the last thing of all of that, all the accolades he's ever had. That'll be the last thing that he needs to go back for. He'll come out 3 or 4 times a year, and everyone will sing his song, and everyone will chant for him, everyone will pop for him. He'll do a couple of bumps, maybe get one of the new guys over or squash one of the new guys, and he'll go off into the sunset with his fucking £1.5 million a year contract. There's not going to be anything more than that. He's not going to come in as a featured guy. He's not going to come in as a commentator. I don't think he's going to do anything like that. He's going to come in as an attraction legend that can come in and do a little bit of work, and that's what you're going to do. I could genuinely see him. I could see him going to. Hear me out. I could see him going to a TNA, and I could genuinely see him having a match in AAA as well, as a heel to elevate an pay-per-view. You know what I mean? I can see him just to make a bit of noise. Corazon Del Leon goes back to fucking AAA. Oh my God, Jericho's here. Like that's the kind of thing that is like an ambassador kind of role. I don't know, but maybe take a bump or two, or something along those lines. I don't know. I just think that's potentially what could happen. I see him going back there. I really do. But this is the third play. They all do it because if he's flirting with the fact of going back to WWE, how much more money is Tony Khan going to pay him to not go there? He wants his toys, right? Everyone says it.
The thing is,
Becky Lynch
wants his
was
toys.
going to go to fucking AEW. Kevin Owens was going to go to AEW when his contract ran out. It was never ever going to happen. But the fact that there's even a sniff of that happening, here's an extra 250 grand a year or whatever. It happens. It's business. It happened back then. It's happened forever. Yeah. You know what I mean? Go on. Let's play the game.
I think the issue Tony will have with that though is like he hasn't used Jericho since about April. So Jericho is in the twilight of his career. You know, he's got maybe 18 months at the very, very most left. He's not going to want to sit on the wayside. I think he'll definitely want to go back for the Hall of Fame. I see him having I see him having like a Goldberg type run at the very end. You know, he'll have this one marquee match at the end.
Couple of 3.
I could see it being potentially against Dominic. I think him and Dominic would be good. There's a lot of history with him and Eddie there.
That's a very good shout. That's a good shout.
I think that could be really good. I think it would be even better if Dom gets the AAA title, and that's where Jericho makes the play for.
Yeah, sign me up for that.
That could be an interesting shout, but I see Jericho. I think
get some heat down there. He really, really could get some heat down there.
Yeah.
And I think Triple H and Shawn Michaels would be really, really stupid not to utilize the mind that Jericho's got for the business, you know, because all like you say, the last few years.
Can I cut you off there? I'm just going to cut you off. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take your point, and I'm going to say, could they? Because he's been using his mind for the last 3-4 years in AEW, and that's the stuff that he's come up with.
Yeah, but again, has he though? And it's a case of he doesn't give a fuck. It goes to your point earlier.
Yeah. I was just playing
I
devil's
think
advocate then. That's all.
no, absolutely. I totally get it, and I think, like, if you think back, Shawn Michaels has worked one of the best programs in WWE with Chris Jericho. The matches they had together were fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
So they know exactly what they're getting with Jericho. If Jericho fancies it, if he's really into it, and I think when he did the original, like, oh my god, what wasn't NXT? What was it? He was like what, like William Regal and stuff did. He went behind the scenes and was training them and stuff. He enjoyed that shit because he could impart his knowledge, and I think it'd be a major asset to like the development. And this could actually help Paul with what you're saying. Everybody's the same. I think Jericho's the master of not being the same.
Reinvention.
Reinvention of everything. So I think he could be a real asset to help.
Literally sitting under the learning tree. Literally.
Yeah. And actually make the learning tree work.
Yeah.
If anything, Chris Jericho would be great to go to Seth Rollins and say, go away for a year and let's change your gimmick up completely and come back and you will be exactly what Roman Reigns was back in 2020.
Take over. Yeah.
And take and get fucking everything. Because I'm going off on Seth Rollins, but Chris Jericho has got the right mind to say, I think this is what you need to do here right now. And it'd be the perfect timing. Because Seth Rollins, to me, he's dull as dishwater.
Yeah.
There's a whole host of wrestlers on that roster, and even like later on in NXT, that Jericho is the person that hooked them into wrestling anyway, right? That's the mentality.
Roger.
It'll be really interesting to see what happens. So that's the news for this evening.
He was my guy. We know this. He was my guy for a long time. He was my tippy top number one guy. He was on top for me. And he's just like, he's become a meme of himself. If we get proper Jericho back, fucking sign me up. I'm happy for that anyway. So if he comes back to WWE and we get a bit more of that, sign me up. So either way, I'll be happy.
Perfect. So we're talking about obviously hooking into wrestlers, and like Jericho is the guy that was the hook into wrestling.
Oklahoma.
Paul, to you.
Oklahoma. I need a wee. Sorry to cut you off. We can go back to that.
You'll have to do it again.
That was a fucking beautiful segue as well.
It was. Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Shieldz. My mate Andy, who's just passed away, he was brought up in Rutherglen. Do you know where that is?
I do know where that is, yep.
Yep. I don't know how far you're away. Are you close by or?
Yeah, reasonably close. Yeah. Like,
because
20 minute
I was just
journey.
wondering, is it classed as a bit of a shithole? Because, or should I say, is it as rough as fuck as it used to be back in the 90s?
It's not
as bad. The 80s.
Not as bad as it used to be. It's definitely not as bad as it used to be. It's got better. It's not great, but yeah, it's not bad. I'm sorry to hear about your friend as well. I'm sorry to hear that, mate.
That's okay, pal. That's okay. I've done all of that. I've done all of the mourning my mate. Tonight's about wrestling. Tonight's about having fun.
100%.
He is here. If you can see him here, there's me and my mate. I had to put him in there. Next to the Warrior as well. The Warrior's looking after him.
Fucking hell.
But yeah.
Fucking hell.
He's fucking... Oh, you're right, mate.
Roll Tide. Right, okay, I need to try and reinvent my fucking classic segue there, Hawxy. Thanks for that, fucking small bladdered wank.
Sorry, but I needed to go because I couldn't have got into the next segment without going. I would have fucking pissed myself.
Tell me when you're ready. We good?
Fucking focus, you twat. There you go. Cool. Ready?
Okay, so going from obviously Jericho being the reason people get hooked into wrestling, Paul, it's a question for you before we start moving on to your list. When did wrestling first hook you as when you were growing up? Was it a match, a moment, a particular person?
I've got a very long answer to this. right? But I do believe it was the summer of 1989. Me and my twin brother would stop over at my cousin's house, and my cousins with an S, their dad had a big fuck off satellite dish, which, and I mean like one of them like Boise from Only Fools and Horses kind of like, it was fucking huge. Do you know what I mean? You could get like fucking transmissions from Pluto on it. It was fucking huge. And they got stuff like the Sky Channel, so they could watch like Frank Bruno versus whoever, that kind of thing. It was back in like 1989. We stopped over and they said, "Oh, do you watch wrestling?" No, you mean like the world of sports stuff where it was. We always thought it was the darts players had just got into their underpants and started having a fucking go at each other. Do you know what I mean? These fucking big belly blokes. Yeah, have a fucking come here, Dave. Have a fucking hell. So, so our cousins had said, "Listen, we've been watching the American wrestling." I was like, "I ain't got a clue what you're going on about. No idea at all." So let's watch this, and I think it was SummerSlam '88 and Royal Rumble '89, and we watched those back to back, and I was hooked. I was hooked because it was cartoon characters come to life. We'd watched, and I've always been a fan of Royal Rumble. I think from that moment on. So it was like what fucking 36 years ago, watching the the wrestling, going, "Oh my god, look at this! Wow!" And who's that? That's the Ultimate Warrior. And this is Hulk Hogan, and they looked like fucking cartoon cat, just huge. They wasn't 6'5". They were 8'9". They were just like monsters, and I absolutely loved it. I was like, this is incredible. And and all the face paint and the stupid music and all of that. And you just, I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. And we irritated the shit out of our mum and dad, especially our dad, who was very tight. He didn't want to get any satellite dish. He didn't want to. He didn't want to pay for any bloody wrestling. But me and my twin brother loved it from like that moment on. That moment on. It was great. It was just great. No more World of Sport for us. No more John and Dave having a fucking wrestle on the mat. To us. It was real. It was, it was like a film, a cartoon, and it's
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
There's
That was the first thing. That was the first time I adored
there's
wrestling,
that
and it stayed with me ever
there's that
since.
picture that goes around, sort of like a meme, and it's like Legion of Doom. I think it's like Hulk Hogan's there, or the Ultimate Warrior and stuff, and like Gene Okerlund's interviewing them, and you've got fucking all that, and it's like, how could you not be a fan seeing this? Like when you were 5 years old on the telly, like how could you not fucking look at these and think, shit, like what is this? Like what a time to get into it when it was just everyone says like, it's larger than life. It literally was larger than life, like that late '80s
Yeah,
period. I think every sort of generation has a time period where it like hooks people. You know what I mean? Like I think that's why the business is sort of cyclical, sometimes in a good way and sometimes in a bad way. I think like people who are like young kids who are going to watch it now are going to be fans like we are. I think kids who maybe watched it in like the early, like maybe 93, 94, probably weren't hooked as much as we would have been watching it in like 89. Like with your Hulk Hogan, like having Diesel on top, you know what I mean, feuding against fucking Mabel. I can't imagine watching a Mabel and Diesel main event and being like, "This is it for
I,
life. I'm hooked." You know what I mean?
I,
Like, but if you're watching Hogan and
I was
Warrior going fucking like, "What the fuck are these guys just coked up fucking roid heads like screaming at me on the telly?" Yes, where do I sign up? You know what I mean?
I was there in '95. It was dog shit then, and it's still dog shit now. '95, fucking rubbish. Absolute. I always find it amazing. '95 was complete dog shit because complete human dog shit. Number three. They were basically playing in like high school like fucking gyms like for Raw and some of the house events, and then within 2 years they're doing the stadiums, and you just go fuck. It was incredible that
sold out
transition.
arenas every night. It's like it is now, isn't it? Really, they're selling out everywhere
Yeah,
they go. It's crazy.
it's mad.
They're fucking.
But
like
I was
yeah.
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 Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say, it's like you say, Hawks, it's cyclical, right? It's like there will be peaks and troughs constantly, and I think we're fortunate enough we're on the crest of like a peak just now, which is cool. But there was like those dog shit years where it was just horrendous. And I think we've been fortunate, obviously, Paul, you said 89 there. It's like we've been fortunate, we've seen like a couple of really great eras of wrestling, right? It's like you've got the golden era, you've got the Attitude era, you've got the WCW boom before the Attitude era, and you've got currently what's happening as well. So it's like going back to what you were saying about, there's people late 90s, early 2000s that like have been really unfortunate, and they have. It's like we've been really, really lucky in the time that we've started watching wrestling. So yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
I do find, like, I mean, I'm 46, and I do look older, but there's kids that are like getting into wrestling, and I don't mean watching it. I mean like performing wrestling, training to be wrestlers. And it's like, oh, when did you start watching wrestling? It's like, oh, 2017 or 2018. You go, oh, what the fuck? You've not even like seen anything like real, like the event happening at the time, and you go, fuck, they had to deal with the 2019 fucking WWE.
Well, do you want to know what you can do, Paul? See, the next time someone says, we started watching in 2019, you could direct them to the Mark Out of 10 Twitch channel, because Mark Out of 10 on Twitch, we watch some old school wrestling, some really, really good old school wrestling. Twitch.tv/Mark Out of 10. We stream pretty much every week, not every day, but we do stream every week. If you want to get involved with Mark Out of 10, come along to that Twitch channel. You can also email us at wrestlemark10@gmail.com. Check out our new website, moo10, MOO10.com, where you can leave comments, feedback, and you can leave us voicemails. All our social medias as well. Make sure you contact us. Mark_out of 10 on X, Mark Out of 10 on TikTok and on YouTube, and Mark Out of 10 podcast on Instagram. We'll be really happy to hear any of your feedback, because we are the custodians of modern day wrestling. That will catch on. Okay, so you've talked about your hook there, and I think it's a nice way to get into the list. So we asked you, Paul, to prepare your top 10 list of wrestlers. Your justification is everything. Me and Hawks are just going to judge you implicitly. So yeah,
Mark Out of 10 per
we'll give
choice.
So we have a nice little one. So number 10, Paul, on your list.
Number 10. I'll be honest with you. My list will reflect my age as well.
Justification is everything.
Everything, mate.
Justification is everything. My number 10 is Jake the Snake Roberts. To me, Jake the Snake Roberts is perfection when it comes down to not only being a heel, but that master of the talker. Never once did he shout. Never once did he raise his voice. He was so good. When you're 10 years old, 11 years old, and Jake the Snake comes out, he's not wearing any makeup. He's not got an angry voice, but he's almost threatening you, like an uncle you've just seen nick 20 quid out of your nan's purse kind of thing. And he's going, if you say anything, I'm going to break every bone in your body. He's like that. Scares the shit out of you. He's not 7 foot tall. He's not this wide. He's not, going to burst a blood vessel from the heroin. He's literally just going to scare. Well, come back to that. But he will literally haunt your dreams from just his persona. How incredible is that? And then having the gimmick of having the snake that slithers and is slimy and is, it's belly to the ground but it's also sly, sneaky. Like, fuck. It's like this analyst dream of what the fuck is going on. Like, if only they could have put a belt on him for a little bit, say, God, it would have been perfect. I wish he could have stayed at the WWE a lot longer than he did, instead of going off and doing some shite run on WCW. But God, he was so good. It was so good. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can see why the film The Wrestler, they used him as the inspiration, because obviously when it came to like going to Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and there's um, Jim Cornette going, "Yeah, you'll be our champion." Where's Joe the Snake Roberts? Yeah, he's doing a line of ketamine off Haku's cock, so he can't, he ain't gonna be able to come to the next event. Do you know what I mean? It can be a bit tough, but no, he's absolutely perfect.
I mean,
trust me.
yeah. Jake the Snake for me is one of my all-time favourites. I agree with everything you just said there. It's, when you were saying it's sly, it's like on the belly and stuff. It goes even back to like biblical. It's temptation, right? It's about that snake tempting you away from being the good guy. Come to me. It's just I'm a promo guy. Like I couldn't give a fuck what happens bell to bell. It's the lead up to it, and Jake the Snake was an absolute master of it. So yeah. 100%. I'm disappointed he's actually at number 10. He should be much higher than that. Fuck you, Paul. Fuck you, Mr. Paul.
It just means that my fucking list is so good.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It's so good.
If Cody Rhodes is on this list, I'm going to go fucking tonto.
This brings me on to my number 9.
No, he was just so good. And when you think that somebody like Papa Shango was going to be his replacement, you can just see how fucking good he was in comparison to Papa Shango. Oh, I've missed my time in. I can't get to the ring. There's probably only Bray Wyatt that's ever come close to what Jake the Snake has done.
A clean Jake the Snake Roberts in modern day wrestling would make all the money. Just on his promo skills alone.
Yeah.
And then he's got the
DDT. 100%.
Didn't even touch on the DDT. Fucking phenomenal move.
Do you know what
I mean, if he was around there, they'd have to do 19 DDTs to do anything, and then a Hurricane Rana. But he was just magnificent to do what he could do. Was he Wrestle Kingdom? No, what was it? Wrestle 2000, where he come out and he was absolutely pissed.
God,
and he had to fight.
Show. Yeah, and he was
that indie show. Yeah,
he was in a state. I don't think he was pissed. I think he was fucking. I think he was. It was maybe
using the snake as a cock and everything.
Yeah, there's maybe more stuff going on than that. Yeah, Jesus.
Okay, Paul. So it's a great number 10 there of Jake the Snake. Your number 9.
My number 9 is Scott Hall, Razor Ramon himself.
Okay.
As Scott Hall or Razor Ramon?
Both.
Okay, so just encompassing the Scott Hall persona.
Encompassing his even his Magnum PI AWA era. You know what I mean? When he was like tag champs with was it Kurt Hennig?
Yeah.
When he was when he looked like an actual 80s gay porn star. Yeah, absolutely. That hairy chest and that moustache there. Do you know what I mean? I was a little bit like what Dan is with Randy Orton. I couldn't get to grips with Razor Ramon because I remember Razor Ramon coming in '92, and I thought, okay, who's this guy? And I immediately was like, oh yeah, that's like that Scarface kind of thing. I got the thing straight off the bat, and I was like, do I like this guy or not? And it grated on me for ages. And all it was doing his job. The guy was doing his job because I was like, I hate him because he's a really good fucking heel. Even when he changed to do the babyface stuff, what, 94?
Yeah.
Um, when he was doing the 1, 2, 3 kid baby stuff and all of that, I was fine with that. But then when he left, I was pissed off because at that period of time, I wasn't watching WCW. Nobody was, right? Nobody was here, right? So he just left. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know about the curtain call. We didn't know anything about dirt sheets or the internet or anything like that. He just vanished. So when he turned up like a few years later when I was catching up with how the WCW stuff was happening in the NWO stuff was happening, and you're going, okay, I need to try and figure this stuff out. You realise like how important that moment was when he came out. They they had a wrestling match. They had a wrestling match going on the TV time, prime time stuff at the time, and there he comes out, just walks out. They don't end the match. They just stop the match, and these guys fuck off. And he just comes out and he starts doing his shit, and you're just going, what is going on? I will give it to Eric Bischoff. He really knew how to, like, say, this is what we're going to do. And it was fucking phenomenal how he did that. And then afterwards, he starts talking to Bischoff. Oh, it's not just me. I've got my friend coming. And then out comes Diesel. Wow, fucking wow. If anything, that was probably one of the peak moments in how you stun a wrestling crowd. Like, without giving anything away, without an audience that had no clue whatsoever. Because now, even like, say, CM Punk when he did his AEW return, like his return by joining AEW, it was the world's worst kept secret because everybody knew what was going to happen. And boom, out he comes. And hey, it was right. The internet was right all along. We didn't have that. We didn't have that at all. So as that was playing out to everybody, you just go, holy shit, are they actually taking over? Have they come here to like intrude on this? Are they doing it from the inside? It's fucking phenomenal.
We weren't
It
all
was
smart, were we?
excellent.
Not everyone was smart. It was still
Not at all.
kayfabe was still running wild, wasn't it? Yeah.
You didn't have a clue. You didn't have a clue. Even though the internet was existing, people wasn't using it in that sense. It was just mad. And for me, Scott Hall had that career for the NWO stuff, but also going back to his Razor career, his ladder match, Shawn Michaels. You know, I still rate that today. There's a lot of younger kids who go, yeah, it's all right, but there's loads of stuff. It's like, go back to it. Not only is it excellent, but it's so well paced. If you look at, like, say, a ladder match in AEW or ladder matches that have happened over the past 10 years, they've got to have a load of spots. They've got to have, oh, here's another ladder, here's another thing, here's another fake spray painted wooden
Here's the referees
ladder.
holding
You know
on
what I
to
mean?
shit out of fucking sight of the camera and stuff or whatever. Yeah.
Absolutely. I met Scott Hall. And it was at one of these for the love of wrestling. I think it was 2019. Took my son down there. It was great, and he was there. I was like, oh my god, I've got to meet him. And we were having an ace chat about the ladder spot, and he said, you know, there was only one ladder there. He said, if we fucked up, that was it, job done. He said, but I think it's still is really worthwhile now. You know, he was not bragging, but he was going, I think it's still worthwhile now. I was like, yeah, it's ace. people forget about pacing in wrestling. People forget that gotta let stuff breathe. And when you've got Shawn Michaels who could bounce like an elastic band,
Yeah.
and then you've got the power force of Scott Hall, it's like, yeah, there you go. Oh, that's happened. Let it breathe. Take that in. What's happening now? Oh, phenomenal, phenomenal. He was great. He was a great character. Very much like Jay the Snake Roberts. He took all the drugs and fucked up his mind and everything like that.
All the drugs.
Um, took all the drugs. To be fair, I'm looking at my list and going, yeah, there's a lot of drugs on this list. A shitload of drugs on this list.
I think from everyone
But no,
from
he was.
your
He was.
era, mate, I'll be surprised if any of them are not on it, to be fair. There you go. There we go.
No, he was great. He was great, and I think he had a great mind. The fact that he went to Sting and said, "Look, go and change your gimmick. Go and try this."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He said, you know, if people are bored of that, change it. See what you can. Oh no, his mind was wonderful. His mind was wonderful. Truly missed in this business where
Imagine him now down with Sean in NXT. Imagine what they could be doing down there. He'd only have to come in once a week. And just like we talked
Yeah.
about sitting under the learning tree earlier on with Jericho. Fuck me. Scott Hall just sat in an office or sat in the corner of the gym next to the rings, like, oh yeah, Scott, can I just ask you that? Oh, you should have done it that way. Like you'd probably know half of it before they even asked him a question. You know what I mean? It'd be fucking
Hey,
amazing.
Chico.
It'd be honestly. I would. You saw like seminars of people I've had in the past and stuff. Like, I'd just to be half an hour for him, even just to watch one of my 5-minute matches or whatever in training. You know what I mean? Like as a wrestler, to just it'd be like, oh, maybe we would have tried this, or do you know when you do that move, maybe do it this way, or do you know what? Just don't do that at all. Do this instead, or just don't do anything instead. Oh, why would you say? Because of this. Okay, it would just the knowledge to just impart from him would have been fucking amazing. It's what a guy.
Absolutely.
What a guy.
I tell you what, he was hilarious at that. For the love of wrestling, because I took my son Miles down, and he was going, yeah. Oh, this is your son, yeah. He said, I've noticed something. A lot of these guys don't bring their girlfriends or their wives down, do they? I went, probably not. No, not at all. He says, yeah. It's either always the kids, but if they do bring their girlfriends, they're always fat. He was great. He was great. So on PC. Mwah. May you rest in peace.
I mean,
Absolutely.
I've been to a couple of events and I can agree. I can agree.
No, Scott Hall is a great shout. He's your number 9. Wrestling's all about moments, and he had loads of moments throughout his career. So yeah, that's an absolute quality shout. Okay, Paul, your number 8.
My number 8 is the best in the world, CM Punk. There is something I absolutely love about Punk. Punk's. Oh, no, so I'm trying to say something really funny there, and it come out wrong. Punky Brewster. That's what I was trying to say. Wanker Paul. Yeah, I love. I love Pepsi Phil. There's something that's really missing in wrestling that's really important, and that is integrity. Integrity is really missing in wrestling, where somebody should say it as it is, even if you're going to offend somebody or upset somebody or completely and utterly piss off the boss. But if somebody's saying it as it is, as it should be, then that's fucking great. And I think that's missing. And when Phil returned, I was so fucking happy. And when he left AEW, I was so happy. And when he returned at fucking WWE, I was so happy. But not WWE, because they did not put Survivor Series 2023 to finish off the fucking year. The fucking bastards! Oh! Shithouses. I've got everything from WrestleMania up to that, the big 4 events. And they fucked that up. wankers. Anyway, CM Punk. Right, sorry. Arseholes! Absolute arseholes! But no, CM Punk, he's got great integrity. He's got a fantastic mind for the business. He proved you don't have to be the big, massive, bulky guy, you big monster, to actually put on a fantastic match. You don't have to be a big guy to pull off the psychology. You don't have to be the person that's sleeping with the boss's daughter to create a persona or an aura for people to really latch onto. He's a little bit, probably about 5% of one of the reasons why I do not drink massively. That is like 5-10% is one of the reasons why I do not drink is because of CM Punk. He's great.
As
He's
Hawxy took a
absolutely
massive
great.
swig of his beer there.
So Jay the Snake Roberts and bloody Stone Cold Steve Austin all over again.
You could have
No,
you could let that slide. That would have been really low key comedy. Then you could, you know what I mean? Just see like.
no, he's great. He's like the Summer of Punk. He's John Cena stuff. Like let's go back to AEW. Okay, am I a fan of AEW? Am I fuck dog shit? But AEW is only acceptable when you have something like the run of MJF and CM Punk. That run is phenomenal. I don't think of the 2020s there's been anything better than that little run that they had. You know,
You can put that up against things across promotional from anywhere for the last 10, 15 years, and it will be up there. Agreed. Yep.
And it's got nothing to do with AEW. It's all about CM Punk and MJF. They didn't touch each other for absolutely ages. It was all about the word. What is it? What's that Miz line now?
You're just Miz.
There's Miz.
Yeah.
I mean, mwah. How great is that? How great is that? And the thing is, MJF really took that. He could have gone, but he really took it on board. I will say this, a little side bit. MJF will be, in the next 30 years, if he plays his cards right, because he's done fuck all recently, he could be classed as this era's Ric Flair. He could be classed as this era's Ric Flair. He could be talked to the people who watch wrestling now as like saying, if I had my Mount Rushmore, MJF should be on there. And I'm going, yeah, he fucking should be. He's incredible. But we're not talking about MJF, we're talking about CM Punk. But CM Punk had that run with MJF, and he gave him so much MJF. He gave so much to MJF, and MJF did, in all fairness, give stuff back. But like, if you look at what MJF has done with other people, like the Hurt Business, and no offense, who gives a fuck? Do you know what I mean? Who gives a shit? Even his last match, CM Punk with Samoa Joe in AEW, he gave everything to Samoa Joe. He said, mate, this is for you. We go way back. We go back to the, what's it called? Ring of Honor stuff and all of that. Yeah, fuck. He gave so much to him. And that's what he does. That's what CM Punk does. He gives. When he's in it, he does it.
How do you make money in the wrestling business? How does a star make money in the wrestling business? How do you put bums in seats? How do you sell pay-per-views? How do you sell merchandise? You sell that by having an opponent, and you make people. You're the star. CM Punk was the most. He is the most over person that AEW have ever had through their doors, and he knew.
Yeah.
In order for him to not be friends, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. He went there with a business head on as a professional wrestler, as a guy to make money, and he needed to make talent, and he knew that. He did it with MJF. He wanted to do it with Darby Allin. Like, that's why he was naming those people and picking those feuds. Like, you talk about these guys who he was working with. The issue started is when he was working with people who didn't see the business the way that he did. And that's where the issue started.
Yeah.
He's a businessman. That's all professional wrestlers are. If you look at some of the guys that he was in the car with when he was back in Ring of Honor, like you Tracy Smothers, and like some of the guys would have been in the territory days. He would have been the back end of that. Like, he wanted to make money. Yeah.
He absorbed all of that info. When you've got somebody like Dory Funk or who's the other Funk brother now? Jeez, I can't think.
Your mother's
Dory
a
Funk.
whore. Terry. Old Del Tell.
Terry Funk. When Terry Funk is giving you information, you sit there and you listen to it. And then you've got Hangman Page that says, I don't need to hear any of this. It's those days are gone. It's this now. Go fuck yourself, Hangman Page. Go and hang yourself, Hangman Page. You fucking bellend. Absolute fucking bellend.
Yeah.
I adore CM Punk because that Drew feud. What was that about? A fucking bracelet. A bracelet. Fucking perfect.
Yeah.
How wonderful was that? And what, Drew McIntyre and a few other guys, they're all going, we're not friends of CM Punk. I don't like them. But CM Punk is a bigger man now. He's also an older man who's now trying to just go, look, let's make some money. We don't have to be best mates, but let's reasonably talk. Figure this out, and let's make some fucking money. And every one of them, slowly but surely, is going,
okay,
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Let's fucking make some money. Even Triple H is going, let's make some money. And Triple H knows how to make that. Whoa! Yeah, he's great. CM Punk is fucking great. Yeah. CM Punk is wonderful. And when people shit on CM Punk, they are very confused by wrestling.
They don't get it.
They don't get it. They don't get it.
Anyone, this is going to sound really bad, and I'm not going to say this is like fucking hell, the almighty, like, I'm going to say this from an elitist perspective. Anybody who says to me that they don't like CM Punk, anything they say about wrestling following that conversation is null and void to me, because they just don't get it. They do not get it. They don't understand it. Because they're in the other camp of people who think that 5 Canadian destroyers are what makes a good match. Someone who turns around and says, "Oh, Punk's a prick," go away. Not go away. I'll talk to you, but whenever you speak to me about wrestling, I don't give a fuck what you're saying because it's bullshit.
We had someone on the Twitch stream recently saying that they appreciated CM Punk as a wrestler, like they loved what he did in the ring, but as a person, like, well, how do you know? You're listening to the side of fucking the Young Bucks. It's like, I know who I'd rather believe. You know what I mean? It's like, CM Punk is a phenomenal choice. I think he'd be in all our lists on this call just now. So I mean, 100%.
He's my number one guy now.
Up there.
Not even close.
Yeah.
He's my number one guy.
Not even close. Yeah.
Yep.
Head and shoulders. Okay, Mr. Paul, number 7.
Number 7 is the dead man himself. Hulk Hogan. No, I'm only joking. It's The Undertaker. No, it's the Undertaker.
That doesn't work for me, brother.
I knew that would get a laugh.
I'm fucking gone hot. Tell him my fan on.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's the dead man himself. I know that you guys are a little bit younger than me, but I'm just going to say this here now. I remember him coming out at Survivor Series, watching it with my cousins, and we saw this guy come out, and what Rowdy Roddy Piper said about the dead man when he says, "What is that hunk of ham? Look at that guy! Oh my god!" That literally is like the fucking 11-year-old me going, "Fucking hell!" I was exactly the same. You just go, "What is he? He looks like a fucking, a steadhead. That's a junkie as well." Do you know what I mean? He just got this fucking the colour in his eyes and stuff. You just go, "What the fuck?" And I love the fact that they didn't just have him out and then just fucking batter everybody and then he wins. It was like, we're going to have him in and now he's going to tell this little mini story. So that if I remember, he does something with Dusty Rhodes and the $1 million man was the guy that introduced him out as the extra person. But yeah, it was just like, it was that kind of cartoon character era, but like you just went, okay, what's this? As we watched the story along with The Undertaker, I always remember my dad. My dad didn't like wrestling solely because it cost money, right? if if wrestling was on ITV on a Saturday
Loved it.
back in 1991, say, right, he'd do, oh, that's fine, I think this is all right. But because it was expensive, no, we're watching this shite. He fucking hated wrestling. But there was only one wrestler he ever liked. He said, "I like the Undertaker, proper black country. I love that Undertaker. He's all right. Oh, he's all right. He's Me dad from Tipton just giving out his criticisms. It's all shite, but the Undertaker's all right. Well, you can't kill him, can you?" It's like, I don't think they're meaning to kill anybody in the wrestling.
Go do it. No matter what you do, you
You can't.
kill him.
You can't do that, can you? But no,
John's having a fucking stroke on the going on there, man. I thought I talk funny. What the fuck's going on here?
But no, it's as Jim Cornette, the Undertaker is the best gimmick in wrestling of all time. We didn't know it back then, but as you see how things have panned out, it's just been incredible. And if you look, I mean, he's also the ultimate company guy, because he'd say, right, this is going to happen. Can he was like what do they call it? The judge, the wrestlers' court, the judge in the wrestlers' court. He was the guy that would strap up in case anything's happening in the Montreal screw job and stuff like that. People say now that Triple H is the ultimate company guy, but it's still Taker, because Taker's still best mates with Vince McMahon. Do you know what I mean? I don't think Undertaker shat on anybody's head, but allegedly, but maybe he has. Do you know what I mean? He has had 3 marriages, but if you look at what he's done, he was the ultimate company guy. I want you to do this. I want you to fly about like a bat. I want you to have a feud with Teddy Long, and he would just go, yeah. Do you know what I mean? He would just go yes at everything, to the point where he said, "You know what? I want to change my gimmick." All right then. And he'd go off and do the American Badass. Only for a couple of years. People think it was ages. It was only like 18 months, like 2 years.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
2 years. Even to the point where he's wearing those Skinner-esque trousers. Remember that one time where he had them on? It's like, what the fuck is going on here? But the ultimate company guy, when you needed a job doing, including the Australian Super Showdown, oh God, which is absolute dog shit. But again, let's not look at those weak points. Let's look at his highlights. Look at the streak. It will never happen again. Never. Even if it lasts for another 100 years, they will never have that happen again.
They should never
You
have
look
ended
at.
it. They should never have ended the streak.
Shouldn't it?
They really shouldn't have, should they? Oh, it's brutal.
It was a WrestleMania 30 moment. It was a WrestleMania 30 moment, and they got their moment. And it's a little bit like ending the streak of Goldberg should have been the look at what we had there, right? Look at what WCW was doing with the streak of Goldberg. And I'm not comparing the two. But what I am comparing is the fact that they let that go to shit, and they shouldn't have done it. They should have had it close. They should have maybe even had this thing where they said, "Oh, he's got it," and it's like, "No." He said this, he had his foot up, or some sort of shenanigans. But no, you're right. They should never have ended it and come around about WrestleMania 35. Undertaker just says, "I'm not doing any more WrestleMania matches ever again. I'll attend. I'll do something. I'll give somebody a belt, but just end it, as the undisputed streak champion or something like that."
Like, the argument
You're
always
right.
is, though, wrestling's not a perfect business, so the streak was a perfect thing. So as I understand why, like, they ended it. I don't agree. I don't think it should have ended it. But yes, Taker for me is like, he's my goat, man. He always is. It's like he's always my number one. So totally appreciate that. Like, first round ballot Hall of Famer, obviously. First on my fucking Mount Rushmore. He's just incredible. And we talked about Jericho reinventing himself. I think the period where he went from like the old school, like AK Corral, like fucking dead man, to like the corporate ministry, the ministry of darkness, the corporate ministry.
The goth
Yeah,
dead
you know,
man. Yeah,
it was like little tweaks. So wasn't complete reinventions until like the
Still
American
fresh, though,
Badass.
wasn't it?
Then
Yeah, it was still fresh.
it was just so good, man. Yeah, love Undertaker.
I find it strange that after 5 years since 2020, the Boneyard match, he's been gone out of like the business properly, and it's a real dent in those WrestleMania kind of things. Even, for instance, something like SummerSlam, where you go, "Oh, normally we'd have this," or no, we'd have the Undertaker moment. And again, I'm a massive fan of what you do as a wrestler when if you, from the moment that curtain opens and you come out to the moment when you leave. I'm not on about the bell to bell. I'm on about the presentation. That guy got fucking like every single eye watching him. Nobody went for a piss when Undertaker was coming out.
Soon as
Everybody
those lights
watched.
went out and that gong started, like that was business is on,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the wrestlers.
Imagine if
would
you.
say it. Like, there's. I can remember.
Yeah.
There was Kurt Angle, doing on his podcast or an interview, and he was at a match. I can't remember what match it was. He was against the Undertaker, and like the camera went on him, and he said, "Oh yeah," he said, "I remember I got told off by Vince because he was just stood there like in fucking awe of the Undertaker's entrance."
Yeah.
This is Kurt Angle, like Mr. fucking intensity. You know what I mean? And he's been caught lacking because he's just fucking absolutely. He's like marking out over his entrance. Like some of the guys,
100%.
if you can work the boys, you can work everybody. Like, imagine being a fucking professional. Mark Henry used to say, he used to scare the shit out of him. Mark Henry's a big lad. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure he can handle himself. Like, you know what I mean? I'd be there and fucking the gong would go and the lights would go out. He said, "I'd shit myself." Fucking crazy. So good.
I always imagined. Imagine you went to see, like, say, WrestleMania 25, and you have brought your deaf girlfriend, and you sat there, and out comes Undertaker, and she's going, "What the fuck is going on here?" You know what I mean? We're just watching this bloke slowly come to the ring in the dark. What the fuck? You know what I mean? It's just it had that aura. I love the fact that he sold tickets. He got bums on seats. He made that company so much money for quite literally just walking really slowly to
And
the
he's
ring.
Mr.
And
Consistent,
I'm
wasn't
like,
he?
fuck.
He wasn't a Stone Cold where he'd make you $50 million a year. You know what I mean? In everything, selling out, but he'd make you $10 million a year forever, like in perpetuity. You know what I mean? From 1991 to 2022, he made you $10 million a year. You know what I mean? Rather than $50 million for 3 years. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like
No,
he was always
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Yeah, he's always there.
always there.
I
And I
th-
think doesn't he? I was going to say, doesn't he still make appearances like somewhere like in Jeddah or
He
like
will. I mean, he does the podcast for them now,
the
doesn't he?
Saudi?
So the Dead Man podcast is a
But he,
WWE thing now, isn't it? So they'll be doing well off that. They'll be doing well off that.
but I think he also does like appearances like for the Saudi leagues
Hmm.
football. So they'll turn up like, oh, some team have won, and the Undertaker's
Giving
giving
them
them
the
their
trophy.
trophy. It's like, yeah, he'll do that for like $500,000. It's just like the dead
Sign me
man
up.
giving you the fucking trophy.
Sign
It's
me
like,
up.
fucking hell, that's nice.
but also, he's making appearances in like NXT. He's one of the head coaches in LFG as well. It's like it's really great because we had obviously that great period of time where he was the Undertaker. Now he's Mark Calloway, he's Taker, where he can then impart all his knowledge as well. We
Yeah.
talked about Scott Hall going into NXT, and can you imagine sitting for half an hour with fucking Undertaker? You as a big man, Hawksy, you know what I mean? It's like that would be fucking an incredible
But
experience to sit there with him.
he had. So he done the podcast with Gunther recently, and it
Yeah.
was really funny because he was like gushing over him. I don't know if you've heard it yet, but he said I need to stop fucking saying it because I keep putting you over, so I need to stop it. But he said the first time he watched Gunther, he was waiting. He was the first guy waiting for him when Gunther come through the curtain, and he basically said to you like, "I fucking love you. Like you're amazing. I love everything you do and everything you stand for, but do not fuck this up." And that's the last thing he said to him. Basically, like, so he holds that much weight still for like the new crop of people coming through that he can go to a Gunther and be like, "Don't fuck this up." You know what I mean? Because like, and I
Hey.
bet Gunther probably took that and was like, "Okay." You know what I mean? Like, and
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
let's be fair, he hasn't. You know what I mean? Which he probably never would do. But like, for Taker to go and say that, to go out of his way to be the first person to wait at the curtain, and for some, you know what I mean, to have that much like respect and trust in somebody who he's just seeing, that says a lot, and it says a lot about Gunther as well. It really does.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Okay, Paul, Mr. Paul, before we hit our break, your number 6.
Number 6 for me is the Stinger himself, Sting.
Interesting.
I'm I love WCW. I didn't get a chance to watch it properly until like for longevity until like the late 90s kind of stuff, and even then it was very sporadic because I couldn't get hold of it. You just people say, "Oh, I remember watching WrestleMania 2000 on Channel 4." It's like, yeah, fucking great, but like WCW wasn't a thing. It was always mentioned. It was always talked about. For me, Sting is very much like the Undertaker in the sense that he's a company guy, even though he's been in 4 companies. When I say WCW, TNA, WWE, and AEW, I think I really like him, and you'll understand this, Dan. Rooting for the underdog, like Sunderland, right? um, I, I always like the fact that he stuck with WCW right to the end, because he said this can work, and if I'm one of the people that makes it work even fucking better, and he can give advice to people, he can do X, Y, and Z, and when WCW went to tits and they went over to WWE, he had a chance to go there, and he went, no, I'm going to check out what this TNA Impact is all about. And he went there, and like his fucking Joker gimmick, how fucking great was that? And I'm just saying a real small snippet of what he is,
Mm-hmm.
he always rooted for the underdog as the business, but stayed loyal to it as well. He stayed even to the point now with AEW. I'm sure he's not bothered about all the interests of other fucking wrestlers in the sense of he probably goes, oh, everyone fuck off. Tony, what do you want me to do? Can you do this? Yeah, I'll do that part. No problem at all. I'm probably going to make you a bit of money here, boy. Hey, look, it's Sting. He's done fuck all really in AEW. He's partnered up with Darby Allin. Come on, mate. You're going to smash yourself into that glass, okay? You
Crack on.
But if you look at that, you just go, yeah, this guy will make any wrestling company money because of what he is, the longevity of him. So let's go back to the beginning. He was doing stuff with Warrior. Who would have thought that as a kid, that when I'm watching Ultimate Warrior, the fucking there he is, look, there's the Ultimate Warrior, running to the fucking ring. I was a fucking Warrior fan. Sting to me was just weird that he was just this guy, Surfer Sting. All right, okay, he's the guy that turns up in like on a video game. All right, okay, who gives a shit? And you look at the longevity and how good, like they were the Blade Runners, and then you go, okay, but Sting's incredible. What he did in WCW, like the Clash of Champions when he's having the match with Ric Flair, fucking brilliant. Wasn't that the same night as the Survivor Series? Is that right?
Yes.
Have I got that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Not only could he get the audience on his side as a babyface, you could tell every single time he was in that ring, especially in that first 5 years, right? He really had to work at it. And the business was eventually got onto his side. The audience got onto his side. Even RoboCop got onto his side. You know what I mean?
You know your own.
They were all there for him.
RoboCop's your tag team partner, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was brilliant. But he also knew when it's starting to dry up. If you look at, like, say, when they did the first Nitro, and it's him and Ric Flair. It is him and Ric Flair as the main event. And then you go to the last Nitro when it's him and Ric Flair at the end. And it's that hug, that beauty of hug. Because they know that it's over. We had such a fucking great dance, and it's over now. The party's over, but look at what we had. Look what we brought. Sting was incredible. Sting was absolutely incredible. And then to that point,
carried on, he wouldn't have gone anywhere. He would have been there forever.
Absolutely.
There's no way he would have went anywhere else. He's like the Matt Letitia of fucking WCW. He's a one club man. You know what I mean? It would never have happened. Would never have gone anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just finished recently the death of WCW, and there's loads of interesting stories that obviously when like Scott Hall and Nash were involved heavily in the booking, they were not convinced about putting the belt on Sting. Mm-hmm. It just shows you how like fucked up that company was, because he was the mainstay of them, right? It's like it was Ric Flair, then it was Sting, like that's the two, and it's just carnage. It's a really good read if you get that. So yeah,
I'll have to check that out. It's mad to think that at the time they were letting a lot of performers of the show to be the bookers, and it should never be, because you have an interest in what yourself is part of the show. They should always have somebody, I believe, as more as an outsider to produce it, because that way then you can concentrate without bias where the thing should be going. If you've got a main interest, like, well, I definitely want to have half an hour on Thunder. Yeah, absolutely. I'm having the 45 minutes split in two. So I'll have the first hour and then the third hour. Of course, you're going to, it's bollocks. And, you know, the Hulk Hogan match as well should have been brilliant, and it was dog shit. Yeah. It's a shame. It's a real shame.
So...
Yeah. Yeah. Well. But again, if you look at Sting when he reinvented himself, Surface thing was gone. He was growing his hair out. He was preparing himself. And then just that creepy bastard in the rafters. How awesome's that? He was WCW's Undertaker, and we all know the greatest what if in wrestling history is Undertaker versus Sting. It never happened. Like you said earlier, Shields, it's a lot of, what could have been.
Yep.
It is that. And it's a shame. It's a shame. It's a real shame.
In a weird
But
way, it's
kind
a
of,
good thing it didn't happen because it gives us an opportunity to talk about like we can fantasy book matches like that. It's quite cool that it didn't happen. Like I know the way I would book it, Hawksy. You had a really cool way. If you want to listen to our back catalogue, you talked about how you would have booked that match. I think it was in one of our earlier Royal Fumbles, and everybody's got their own interpretations of how that would go. But I think it would just be awesome regardless, right?
yeah. Yeah. I mean, the worst of it is if it did happen and it was absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I mean, that's probably the main reason why it didn't. Because when the opportunity arose to be able to do it, it was probably too late, and it was probably fear of it not fucking working out as well
Absolutely.
as we would wanted it to. I think if they'd done it, not like in the, I'm not saying this if they'd done it now, as in like they're fucking 60 odd years old, but if they do it like in a world that is now, it would have been produced to a sort of within an inch of its life, but in a good way, because the people who would have been involved in it would have been like elite level stuff, so it would have been, you would have been allowed a bit of smoke and mirrors and things like that. But it would have been really, if he came across in 2001 when all the shit went down, and they fucked the invasion angle up altogether anyway. It was snake bit. It was never ever going to work, and it's probably smart from. It's probably smart.
So it's up there, say the shot.
It's probably
Sorry.
It's probably like a smart thing for him not to have come across. You know what I mean? He probably knew. I mean, he would have known. He's a clever enough guy, good businessman. But it was there's so many different opportunities for them to do it. It would have been amazing, but we didn't get it. But what we did get, and I agree with you, what you're saying here, like his catalogue of work is fucking brilliant. He was never the greatest wrestler in the world. Never at all. You're not going to put Sting up there with some of the greatest workers in history. But what he did, he presented himself in a certain way, which made you fucking believe that he was one of the best to do it. And that's cool as fuck. And he had it. He had it.
That's wrestling.
That's wrestling, yeah. He had it. And it was a lot of it. Fucking brilliant. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sick, mate. That is
a
6.
solid. It's a good number 6. A solid start to your list. We usually take a break there, and we talk about different things in wrestling. But let's go talk about like your experiences in wrestling, Paul. Right. So obviously you're a big proponent of TCW. Obviously top turnbuckle wrestling. UK indie scene. How would you describe the UK indie scene to someone who's maybe only familiar with like WWE or AEW?
It is a lot different to what WWE is a product. Now, if you go and see an indie show, I think, do you know what? I sometimes hate wording it as an indie show because it has that American indie connotations. I'd much rather say a wrestling show in Britain. If you go and see a wrestling show in Britain, some companies can put on certain glitz and glamour for 300 quid. Do you know what I mean? So they'll have lights, they'll have smoke machines, and if you can imagine a compressed, to be honest, sometimes a lot of the indie wrestling shows in Great Britain now are probably very comparable to what Raw was doing in 1995 in the high school halls kind of thing. But if you go and see that, you are going to see probably a less caliber of wrestling, a less, what am I trying to say? Some of the personalities might not be great, but what you will get is hardworking guys that have tried, well, certainly some of them at least, They've tried to train the best that they can to put on a show for an audience. And if you're willing, like a good wrestling audience should do, willing to put your belief system to one side and realize that John from Smedic is going to really beat up this 6'5" guy here, then you're on form. Um, no, I think with the UK wrestling scene, I always think there's like two camps. There's either one where the people know what they're doing, they know what to do as a show, and they know what they do as wrestlers. They, more importantly, try and put on a show for the audience. And then there's other wrestling shows where the wrestlers think that they're the most important people in the world and they don't give a shit about the audience and they'll run around and not sell a thing and think that doing a million bumps and a million flying things and a million this and the other is what a show should be. And that is a shit show. That is a complete shit show. If you're going to put on a wrestling show in the UK, remember that your audience, and let's just say this out loud now, if you're going to see a wrestling show in the UK, you're probably not mega rich. You're probably just like the 98% of the rest of the population, working class guys that are going to take their kids and their misses and their other friends' kids to go and see some wrestling and be entertained for 3 hours. Let's give the audience of those kids that are 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old a great show. Get those kids to boo the shit out of you. Get those kids to cheer you. Get those kids to give you a reaction. If you can't do that, then there's something wrong. There's something implicitly wrong in a independent wrestling show. You've got to cater for that audience. And I think that's what a lot of these wrestling companies now, because there seems to be more wrestling promotions popping up out of nowhere every day. There'll be Steve, who's done some wrestling training for 6 minutes, and now he's going to set up a wrestling promotion. And have a guess what? He's going to put his own belt on himself. What a wanker. Right? And he's 42 years old. He's also about that in stone weight as well. And he can't bloody do anything. It's dog shit. You've got to cater for the audience, right? Give them a great bunch of matches. If you can get it on regular as well, like every month, create some really good stories that the audience can get behind. And remember, don't do it for the dads, do it for the kids. Spoon feed those kids, those 8-year-olds. If they understand that somebody like Dan is the arsehole heel and he's making them boo, got it. Just spoon feed them. It's dead easy. If you're the champ, if you're the baby face or whatever, make them scream, make them shout. The worst thing you can do is make them snore or make them just sit there and say nothing.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what it is. I've gone off on one, but that's what it is.
That's the point, mate. That's the point.
I think it's I think the British wrestling scene is the best or the biggest it's ever been, ever.
Yeah.
100%. I think wrestling is more accessible for fans now. I think it's more accessible for people to go and train and want to be a wrestler and all that sort of stuff. And there's sort of different levels. It's a little bit like, I'm going to make a comparison now. It is very similar to like an AEW and a WWE. You have that presentation of, we are doing it for the fans to be a business, and then you have the presentation of people just want to go out there and just run spots and run bumps. And when you see the clips of the people who are running spots and running bumps, there's about 30 people in the crowd. When you go in there and you're presenting a wrestling product and a pro wrestling product, you're going to have 200, 300 people there. and that's the difference. You have obviously your Rev Pros, or you have your Burning Hearts and stuff, which is like elite level stuff. You know what I mean? Like, but they're backed by bigger funds and all that sort of stuff. But it is literally spit and sawdust, proper British wrestling. It is proper wrestling. Proper pro wrestling is what the purest form of pro wrestling is. Professional wrestling is still alive and doing really well in the UK. I would say that the British, like the indie scene, quote unquote indie scene in the UK, you can put it up against any country in the world, and I think you will find a bum for most seats. It's the circus, and we're doing really well. Definitely.
Absolutely. Couldn't
Well
put it better
said, mate.
myself.
Well said.
Yep. So, Paul, obviously, you've made the transition from being a fan to like working in the business, right? Like I say, you're a big part of TTW. You've done a lot. You do a lot behind the scenes, and you've transitioned into like a on-air personality. We'll say as the head of the family, Mr. Paul. And you said in your part before that you found it quite easy to get a reaction from the kids, get them to boo you or get them to cheer you. Have there been any moments where you've thought, shit, this is actually a lot harder than I thought it was going to be? Anything at all?
We've touched on it before where I've come from a background of comedy. So I've done comedy for, oh, sorry, I've done a, hey, that was comedy. I've done a background of comedy where for 10 years where the audience is everything. If you're telling a joke or you're doing like I have done like crap horror magic as part of my thing, if the audience doesn't laugh, that's the worst thing. If they say you shit, it's still better than them not laughing because at least then when you have that heckle, you can then try and use that heckle to come back and try and you have an opportunity to do something. The comparisons to the wrestling is exactly the same. I have found it because of those comparisons. I've found it quite easy to go into a heel persona, so it'd be a heel management role, like for me. And I have to admit, if it was top 10 wrestling personas, my number one would not be this one. My number one would be Bobby the Brain Heenan because he's my all-time favourite person in the wrestling, followed closely by Jim Cornette. Again, another manager, because being disabled, I've got one eye, I've got all of these ailments. I could never wrestle as a kid. I was enamored by the managers coming in and going, oh, and having a go at everybody. And you're thinking, what is he having a go at him for? Hold on a second. He's not getting hurt. He's Mr. Fuji pulling the leg and doing this. I'm going, that's fascinating. They're causing all the chaos and they don't get hurt one bit. That's brilliant.
Went down the wrong route. I really did.
Yeah. It's fascinating. I always found that somebody like Bobby the Brain Heenan was booed just as much, or even worse than the people that he managed. If you look at when he had Ricky, oh no, what's his name? Oh, the Ultimate Warrior had the cage match fights with him. Oh Christ, what's his name?
Rude.
Rick Rude. Thank you very much, Rick Rude. He would bring him out, and Rick Rude would do his, ham and eggers kind of, speech to them. They're not having a go at Rick Rude. They're having a go at Bobby the Brain Heenan. They're all fucking lobbing the stuff. They hated the guy. They didn't like Rick Rude, but it was more about Bobby Heenan than that. And it was just incredible. So doing the heel management for TTW, which is something I always wanted to do, it's not easy to do at all. To anybody who says, oh, no, that must be easy, just having a go at the kids. No. You've got to really persist. And again, spoon feed them. You've got to spoon feed them that storyline. What are you trying to do? I'm 5 foot nothing, and the guys that I manage are 6'5" and just as wide. So when I turn up, I make that guy look like he's 7 foot. So as a heel manager, I'm going to be talking for him. I'm going to be saying everything about this guy, how good he is, and how he's going to kill everybody in the room, and he's going to destroy your champion, and he's going to do this to the baby face. The audience need to hear that not once, not twice, but loads of times. They need to clearly hear what you're saying. They need to make sure that you're doing your job of ramming that down their throats at every given opportunity. Like the last thing that we did, it was boiling hot, so I got a big massive bottle of water, and I told some of the kids' dads, I said, I'm just gonna refresh you at the next time that we're out. No worries at all. So the kids, boo, boo, just spray them with water. Have that! Shut up! Just giving it full pelt to them. You've got to give it to them. It's a pantomime when it comes down to somebody like me. I'm not saying that for the wrestlers. Sometimes saying that wrestling's a pantomime can be a bit offensive. Okay, fair enough. But when it's at my level where I'm doing, it is pantomime. I'm the pantomime villain. And if I'm not doing my job right at telling them kids that they're horrible and that they smell and that their mothers are delinquents of the night,
She's a
you know what I mean?
whore.
I'm not,
Your brother's a
yeah,
whore.
I'm not doing my, then I'm not doing my job right.
Yeah.
I'm not doing my job right. And that's what it is. And I think that's something like management is solely missing in wrestling these days. Paul Heyman has got it, monopolized. And too right, he's fucking brilliant. He's the best manager at this moment in time, has been for the past 30 years, say, right? He's got a lockdown, monopolized. Nobody's going to touch him. But what's really missing is some good managers with some really shitey wrestlers. Imagine bringing them in now. Yeah, I know that Seth Rollins is doing stuff with Paul Heyman. To me, it's 5 years too late. For me, it's 5 years too late. But if you had managers with, say, Gunther, for instance, right? He probably doesn't need it, but does he? Just imagine somebody talking for him, because that German accent, not saying anything about the accent, but for some people it's not crystal clear enough. It's not poignant enough. Have somebody speak for him, and that could elevate him to that level. For me, because of how old I am, the days of Slick, Mr. Fuji, Sherry Martel, Bobby Heenan, Jim Cornette. I've said 6 there, and they're all fucking brilliant. Paul Bearer, Brother Love. Do I need to go on?
Jameson.
You,
No, I get.
you don't have
No.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
You don't have it anymore.
yeah.
No.
I agree. You need
100%.
heaters.
Sorry.
Definitely. 100%. Yeah, I agree.
You need managers to be proper managers as well. Not somebody who looks nice, who's sexy, who's provocative. No. You need somebody to be a right cunt.
Exactly.
And you've got that down to a very fine art, Mr. Paul. That's I think that's a given.
Thank you.
So obviously you get a lot of reactions from the crowd, and like you say, it's the kids that you aim for. They're the ones that will give you the most visceral reactions. Can you think of something like the craziest or funniest thing that's happened at a show that you've been a part of because of the reactions you get?
Probably the best reaction I've got is we had a moment where Riley Rivers has come in. Now he's a guy that from the very start of TTW's inception, I was doing something. We were trying to promote it, and we were doing some like news kind of thing, and it was me and him, and because of my comedy stuff, we were trying to do something to get the brand moving, pushing it forward, getting it out on socials, blah 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 blah. So there was an automatic connection between us two. Skip 18 months, and then we're into TTW earlier on this year, and I've become heel manager for these wrestlers. And Riley comes out, hey, I want to be I want to be part of your team. Oh, okay, shake his hand, and then out comes my guy, Harrison Edwards, who again, he's like the monolith out of 2001. He shakes his hand and he destroys his hand. He's like, "Argh!" And then I get my walking stick and I smash it over his back. Now, we did test it just beforehand to see. Said, you all right with that? Bang. Yes, yes, yes. But Nathan Riley Rivers, who'd done it, he went, fucking hell, that was the most painful shot I've had to the back. And I only tapped him. So it was like a baseball bat. I went, that's good then. So we go and do the actual real thing. We go out to the spot and then I go and whack him and something loosened up in that stick. Because when I whacked him, it just splintered. The end went shot off into the crowd, cracked everywhere, and I just went, "Fuck!" Okay, that was it. So I went with it. I was like, "Okay, that was amazing." Shit, and then we just carried on with it. But like, it was great. It was a great little moment of that happening. And there's going to be plenty more where that come from as well. But it was a great moment. Um, we couldn't have timed that right. We couldn't have planned it like it was, but it was brilliant. Certainly scared the shit out of the kids at the front. This lump of wood going, ah! But no, it was great. It was great. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
I was in Gorilla at that time, and it was an amazing thing to see from backstage. It was amazing, so good. It was such a great spot, brilliant, so good.
Thank you.
Okay, I think what we'll do is we'll get back to the list then, right? Let's finish off this list before we talk a little bit more before we end the episode. So we've done your 10 to 6. We're going now to your number 5.
This may surprise Dan, but number 5 for me is Ric Flair.
Woo! Okay.
Woo, indeed. Now, Ric Flair is number 5. Now, for me, the first time I saw Ric Flair was the end of 91. So out comes the real world's champion carrying that belt. And when I watched it, they didn't pixelate it, you see. I watched it, they didn't pixelate it. And I'd heard about Ric Flair. I'd never properly seen him at all. I've seen pictures of him, but I've never properly seen him. So out he comes. And I was genuinely worried. I was going, shit. Hulk Hogan's in deep shit now. Hulk Hogan's deep shit now. I was 12. Yeah, I was 12. But it was real to me, This was real. He turns up. And you just go in. And again, Ric Flair never needed a manager. But by teaming up with Bobby Heenan, fucking hell. That was that poetry, planets lined up. It was fucking just absolutely brilliant. So it all leads up to Royal Rumble 92. And I think it may be still held as the greatest Royal Rumble, conjecturally, let's say that. It's phenomenal for how they try to pace that. They said, okay, we're going to have Ric Flair win this. He's going to come out as number 3. If you watch that back, right?
We watched it back very recently, mate. Literally on the stream.
Very recently.
Very recently. Yeah, within the last couple of weeks. Yep.
Now, perfect. Now, if you take away what you're watching visually, how fucking incredible is it just to listen to that? Bobby Heenan takes you on that journey. I think it wouldn't have been as half as good if he was in the crowd. But by watching it via as we had videotape back then, with Bobby Heenan's commentary leading you on that way, God, he was incredible because he was manic. He's like, oh God, not again. Oh, he's still all right. Oh, he's still in there. Oh my God. So when he wins it, like I do love, it's one of the ultimate promos, and with a tear in my eye. But just watch Bobby Heenan. Bobby Heenan's had like 17 orgasms and 4 shits in all of that time. Do you know what I mean? He's like, fucking hell. It's incredible. He made that moment so much more for Ric Flair from what he'd done. Because Ric Flair was a great guy for like the hour long, what you call them?
Broadways.
Matches. Yeah, so you'd have like your big long matches, and he could do that. And if I don't know if did you do a what's it called, a Flair flop count in the Royal Rumble? It's something like about 7 that he does, or something like that, 6 or 7.
We were commenting on it when we were watching it. He didn't fucking stop the whole time. No. He was in there for that hour and 1 minute or whatever it was. He was on it, relentless.
Always doing something. If you watch Royal Rumbles now, obviously they have these things, right? Okay, clear, everybody get out. We'll have these little moments. Flair didn't. Flair didn't go out once.
He was calling everybody.
He's knackered.
Calling everyone's spots, doing his spots and everything. It was fucking great. Yeah.
Incredible. Like that is the Iron Man of Iron Man fucking moments for Ric Flair. But you look at what he'd done with Ricky Steamboat. You look what he did with. Look at Starrcade. The first one. Not only is he incredible in his work rate, this is a real difficult one when it comes to wrestling. You'll understand this, Dan. Sometimes you'll see somebody who's a fucking brilliant wrestler, and they can't talk for shit. And then you'll have a guy that can do promos and talk, and he's amazing, and his work rate is dog shit. But Ric Flair had this amazing ability to be one of the best to ever do it and to talk. Every time he'd be in that little WCW little studio in that corner, and he's got his suit on, and he's kiss stealing, wheeling, all of that. Like every time he did that, he meant it. Even to the point where he's throwing shoes at Jay Lethal, or he's, he was absolutely incredible in what he did. Even to the point where he's going, okay, so I'm in WWE, I'm going to do a commissioner role, and he's going, no, I need more than this, and he even does Evolution, and he's a main person in that. Yeah, he's a manager role, but he's still an active wrestler at the same time.
Really good matches, yeah.
And he's got Triple H, Batista, Randy Orton himself. Fuck! Incredible. The modern day Four Horsemen.
Oh yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
He knew how to work with a talent and get the best out of them. He knew every single time, whether it be Terry Funk, Steamboat, Sting, then even doing I know that he had 15 end of career matches. Do you know what I mean? Or 16 or 17, I can't remember. But even then, he was still like Shawn Michaels. I love you, bang, and it was wonderful. I mean, you speak to him and he'll cry at any moment now. I think that's CTE or whatever it is. But he's certainly really special to the wrestling industry. There's not many people that can be all round and be fucking brilliant. Was it Wrestling Insider magazine that said that Ric Flair was the wrestler of the 80s. And you go, yeah, I fully 100% agree with that notion. He was excellent.
I think
Excellent,
I think
excellent,
Flair
excellent.
was like to make it like another sort of point similar to that. I think Flair was the wrestler's wrestler. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he was everybody wanted to be Ric Flair, and he will say, "Well, I wanted to be Wahoo McDaniel or whatever." But it's like, okay, I get that, but like the boom period in what he did, everyone says like he's 101A to like have done it. If you know what I mean, like he's in that conversation. Yeah, and I agree. He had all the sizzle, and he had all the steak to go with it as well. He was fucking great. Yeah. Phenomenal.
The only thing he was shit at was marriages. That's it, yeah. He was dog shit at marriages. Do you know what I mean? He could
5-0.
bed women.
5-0 in marriages.
Exactly.
0-5.
Yeah. Do you know, the streak.
Okay, so the kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, son of a gun at number 5.
Woo!
What about your number 4, Paul?
Number 4 is a guy that at the time when I really got into the wrestling in the early 90s, he was the best WWE worker. And there was only ever 2 people at the time that were the best workers. You were either this guy or the other guy. As a 46-year-old man, I respect both of them now. One of them was an arsehole, and one of them was the real deal. And the real deal is Bret Hart. He is he is the hitman. He is the best there was. Do you reckon they'll say that when he dies? Literally, the best there was, the best there is, the best there ever will be. Bret Hart was fucking phenomenal because his work rate was excellent. He wasn't great on the mic, but he didn't need to be. He didn't need to be.
He wasn't the worst to ever
He
do
didn't
it.
need
Me
to
and
be.
Shields keep having this conversation all the time. He shits all over Bret Hart on the mic. And I'm not saying for 1 second I'm saying he's Ric Flair, but he wasn't that. He wasn't the worst to ever done it.
I'm going to add one to the counter. Dog shit on the mic.
Oh, dear.
Bret Hart was really, the only time he was ever really good on the mic was when, do you remember the Royal Rumbles in the early days? So in the early 90s. And they'd say, what are you going to do for the Royal Rumble? I'm going to go out there and be the best. And that would be it. He was really fucking good at that. He was really fucking good at that.
Videos.
But if he had to go and do,
oh dear,
if he had to go and do a live promo in front of Raw crowd back in like '97,
when he was shitting all over Stone Cold, I thought it was quite fun. Taught him and Sean having a bit of back and forth. Anyway, however,
you've got pink tinted glasses on, Hawxy. It's fucking.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, very Canadian dog shit tinted glasses there, mate. No, but
he could go.
When it comes, he could really go. He was. If Ric Flair was the wrestler's wrestler, I think the next generation would have always said that Bret Hart was the.
He was an artist.
The guy.
He literally was an artist.
An artist.
Yeah.
If any, not just YouTube, but if any listeners ever get the chance, watch Stevie Richards do breakdowns of Bret Hart, just little snippets of moves that he does. So he'll go, here's him doing something with Roddy Piper at fucking SummerSlam, and he's doing this, or he's doing something or other, and you go, look, and he's da-da-da-da-da, and it looks quite devastating, and he'll say, it's so safe. It's unbelievably safe. And I genuinely think that it's down to one, being part of that Hart family and getting the shit, properly knocked out of you. Not by just trainers, but also probably your dad and your brothers knocking fuck out of you. Do you know what I mean? Where's mom gone to the shops? Right, I've got to beat fuck out of somebody. Do you know what I mean? Um, but yeah, they knock shit out of you, and then it would be a case of like, I'm going to put you in a wrestling hold for 15 minutes, and then you can do your own work. I'm only 6, Dad. Shut up. Do you know what I mean? But he had that thing where they knocked the shit out of him, so he knew how to take a bump, but he also knew how to do everything so safely. I don't know if have you ever seen like the old footage of the dungeon where it's like when they say it's a dungeon, it's like fuck me, it's like something like Josie Fritzl built.
Some Jeffrey Dahmer shit, isn't
Really,
it? Couple of
yeah. Oh
mattresses,
god,
couple of mats
the
on the
fucking
floor, and
the
fucking
pipes,
everything. Yeah.
pipes up there and stuff. Yeah, fuck. Imagine that. Yeah, it's 10 quid for this, mate, for the night. What the
Have
fuck?
you heard the
Yeah,
recordings
they.
when they put the voice recorder thing up against the
Yeah.
the grate on the floor in like the living room, like that's all the air air rate through the house and stuff. You just hear people like "Arr! Ah," like screaming. It's been
Oh
recorded.
God!
It's been recorded from like the above in the fucking living room. It's crazy. Yeah.
But yeah, from that foundation that he had to go and then go and do Calgary wrestling for what 4 or 5 years before being called up to the WWE. Again, it's back in the territory days where you got beat the shit out of, and it was people against like Bad News Brown. You're like, okay, they knew how to have a fight
Yeah.
and make it real, but also make it completely safe. And I think that's something that's really missing. I know that you say some stuff on the news about certain things in WWE and AEW, but have you noticed that recently over the past 5 years, it seems like it's everybody's getting injured, and it's just like it's pathetic how they're getting injured as well. Oh, we'll just smash his head against the side of the ring. We'll just do this power. You go, they're just badly trained. It just didn't happen. Those moments didn't happen back in
It's
1991.
because if you got hurt, you didn't get paid. So the
Yeah,
flip the
that's
flip
that's a
the flip side of that, so like you had to work every night to make sure that you got paid. If you didn't work, you didn't get paid. But a lot of guys would work hurt as well. So there's like two sides to
yeah,
that coin. So there's guys who should definitely not have been working, who still were because they had to, because they wouldn't get paid if they didn't. But you had to go in there every single night and trust the person that you're with there, that you could take a paycheck home to your family. So like there's the other side of that now. It's guaranteed contracts. You've got insurance. You've got fucking medical teams. You've got all this, that, and the other. Um, it doesn't set a good precedent for people who are watching it, like independent guys who are watching things happen on the TV. "Oh, I'll do that," and then they go and land on their head and they can't walk again. Like it's
yeah,
crazy, but we've spoke about this before with Shieldz on here. Like somebody, more than likely, it's going to be AW. Someone is going to get paralyzed or they're going to die on that show
Yeah.
for anything to be done
yeah,
about it. It's a different. Well, like
yeah,
Bret Hart, going back to Bret Hart, like he always hung his hat on the fact that he never hurt anybody when he was in the ring. That was his whole career. I never hurt a single person. That was in. He got hurt loads of times trying to do the job and trying to help people out, but he never hurt a single person.
yeah.
He was the only thing I don't agree with Bret Hart was the chops thing that he was talking about the other week with Gunther.
Gunther.
Like
Yeah.
he doesn't like chops and he doesn't agree with chops and this, that, and the other. Like I can see what you're saying. He goes, but I done a training session once. One of the listeners will get a big pop out of this. I done a training session once, and the trainer said that chops aren't meant to hurt, and you're meant to work a chop. Now I asked the question, how do you work a chop? And he showed me how to work a chop, and it wasn't a chop. How you slap your thigh on a chop absolutely boggled my mind. And the guy who I was in the ring with, who's now on lots of shows, on TTW shows, Jesse Dynamite, I basically said, look, just fucking chop me. We ain't fucking about with this shit, just chop me. And he learned how to take a chop and give a chop that day. It's fascinating. Anyone who turns around and say you've got to work a chop just absolutely boggles my mind. Anyway, that's a sidebar. But the only thing in my whole life that I disagree with Bret Hart is the chop situation. But everything else he's done is amazing. He's had, I think, if you look back at his career, there's lots of people who, if they haven't admitted it, if they ever got questioned it and they didn't admit it, they would have had their best match against Bret Hart in their careers, like going up against him. You know what I mean? We talk about some like unbelievable. Goldberg probably had his best match against Bret Hart back in the day. Kevin Nash at fucking SummerSlam, fucking out Stone Cold. That WrestleMania 13 match
100%.
is the best match Stone Cold ever had, and that's a big fucking load of matches to take it. But the best match he ever had. Roddy Piper at WrestleMania 9. Is it 9?
9.
He had some amazing matches, Piper did,
Yeah.
but in terms of like in-ring bell-to-bell storytelling matches, like that finish of that WrestleMania night, the sleeper into the fucking jump over, like phenomenal. It's yeah, artist, absolute artist. You give Tom McGee. What can you do? Give me 3 moves. Okay, you gave him 12 minutes and made him look like a superstar. That much so that he was going to be the next Hulk Hogan, and the person they should have chose was Bret Hart, not Tom McGee. He was the one who made him. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm going to talk about Bret Hart all night.
I look at Bret Hart and I go, if you're a wrestler, if you want to train to be a wrestler, if you're interested in that, and you are, say, 22 years old, don't watch AEW. Just go and sit down and watch Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect at SummerSlam. 91?
92.
Yeah, watch that.
91 and 92. Yeah.
No, that's some.
One of the two, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the two. Just go and watch that. Mr. Perfect versus Bret Hart. Right? Watch it. Watch it for its wrestling prowess, and also watch it for its pacing.
Yep. And
For its
selling.
pacing.
Selling. Nobody
And fucking
sells
selling.
anymore. No one sells anymore. That's why we absolutely go mad about watching like some of the Gunther match with him and Punk the other week. It was like a fucking phenomenal match. They sold. Talk about Bret Hart marks. Like Punk is a huge Bret Hart mark. Like, it's just, you don't need to be 22. If you're ever even thinking about becoming a wrestler, even if you're 14 years old, watch Bret Hart matches. It will help you. It will help you understand the business. You can weave stuff in around it, that's fine. Yeah. But foundationally, fundamentally, Bret Hart, there's nobody better than Bret Hart.
Just going back to the selling point you made there, it's like the Gunther and Punk. The amount of people that are saying, oh, Punk's too slow now, Punk's too slow. That's the generation we're in. They think he's like past it. It's just, well, no, this is what real selling is like.
Professional wrestling looks like. This is how you sell a fight.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't going to be, if you look at any boxing match, when they're in round 8 and they've been throwing fucking ham for 8 rounds, they ain't going to be running the same pace as they did in round 1. You know what I mean? Come on, guys.
Absolutely.
Play the fucking game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so solid list so far, Mr. Paul. Excellent choice, Bret Hart, number 4. Your number 3.
My number 3 is the cream of the crop. Oh yeah, Macho Man. Dig it. Macho Man, to me, was what my dad would say, he's had all the drugs. And he probably did. The incredible thing about Macho Man Randy Savage was that, very much like the Ultimate Warrior in a way, where his promos didn't really have to make any sense. It was just a joy to just watch what was going on.
Experience.
Oh yeah, it's just like brilliant, and everybody does an impression. You say Macho Man Randy Savage, what's the first thing they do? Oh yeah, everybody does it. It's fantastic. But this is the special thing about Macho Man Randy Savage. If you go back to 1985, especially in the WWE, right? Apart from Hulk Hogan himself, every wrestler looked like Hacksaw Jim Duggan. This 6 foot odd guy, bit of a belly, but like they've been working out a bit at the gym, but they got that beer gut kind of thing. And then in comes this slim down guy that can go, that is this almost a mini version of Ric Flair, but on loads more ketamine. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. But he also brings with him his valet Elizabeth, which is like his it's that Samson and Delilah that it's this wonderful thing of like she's my you call her valet now, but it was the manager, but she did fuck all. But it was this special thing of like he was king and this is his queen, and I absolutely loved it. Then the guy wrestled. Then the guy wrestled. So if you watch him wrestling, he had this intensity, and he's a smaller guy. He's a smaller guy, and he's going, and you watch him. You go, this guy doesn't break a sweat. He can bounce everywhere, and then you have him up against somebody like Hulk Hogan, and there's a clear half a foot, nearly a foot like height difference. There is this difference, and toe to toe easily. I mean, like people always say Hulk Hogan was a shit wrestler. I disagree with that. But when you compare it to Macho Man Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan was a shit wrestler. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
He knew how to go.
Yep.
If you should say what's the highest moment of Macho Man Randy Savage, probably WrestleMania 3 with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Now with that, we all know the story of they mapped it out on the yellow legal pad and they said, right then, move 48, you're going to come off this turnbuckle and do this bit and then go around there. Yep. It was perfect. When you watch that, it's not a wrestling match anymore. To me, it was the first time where you're watching it as what wrestling really is, and I think people forget this. Wrestling right there at that moment was art. Was art. It's beyond a performance. It's beyond sport. It's beyond two blokes in their underpants pretending to have a fight. It's art. It's the prime Angus steak that you could get at that time. The sizzle was the match afterwards.
Yeah.
This is the purest amber nectar steak. And I'm a vegetarian, but this is what this is. It was just beautiful. And I don't think people realised until a long time afterwards just how good that match was, just how phenomenal that was. And I'm just saying just one thing that Macho Man did. If you look at his run, like, say, with the mega powers or the mega drugs, as I like to call it,
The mega powders.
it's incredible. The mega powders. Again, how do you make a storyline where Macho Man then becomes this heel? I mean, like, he's a natural heel. I always think he's real first heel run where he's going his first proper longevity, should I say, heel run, to then become the Macho King when he wins the that. But you've got the Hulk versus Macho Man stuff, phenomenal. Not so much with SummerSlam '88 with Zeus, because that guy was human dog shit.
Don't give me any shit with Zeus.
Hey, I can't do that, so I try. But no, he's really, really shit. He was really shit. But Macho Man was that guy that you could always say he's going to get a great match. He's stuff with Ultimate Warrior. He's stuff with Jake the Snake Roberts and that. The snake in his arm. I mean, like he said, I'll do it if you do it. He goes, okay, then go and bite my arm. Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. I don't think there's many wrestlers that you can say that are legitimate. The whole character, probably Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man, never stopped being the character ever. they were 100% committed.
Randy Poffo
Yeah.
was Macho Man, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. His
I think
clothes, his wardrobe budget got a bit bigger. That's all it was.
that's it. I think the day that he joined WWF back in 1985 was the day that Poffo died.
I
He never came back.
I think he was Macho Man before that. Even back in the
Yeah,
day when he was with his brothers and his dad and all that sort of stuff when he was running around back in the day, I genuinely think he was always that person. I nearly made a comment
yeah,
earlier on about saying like with Jake the Snake, like was Jake the Snake the gimmick or did the gimmick get given to Jake the Snake? Like Macho Man, Randy Poffo is Macho Man, the same as Jake Roberts
Is
is
Jake,
Jake. You know, does that make sense? Like that they
yeah.
yeah,
Ric Flair, Ric Flair was Ric Flair from the day he was born. That was who he was meant to be. That is him. If you know what I mean, like it's art imitating life, or it's just art being art, or life being life, or whatever. I don't know how to explain it. Like they
yeah.
were always meant to be that person. Yeah, you look at some of the promos he did before he went to the WWF back in the day. He was him, 100%. Yeah, Mr.
I
Intensity.
always look at wrestlers now. When they go, I'm going to do this gimmick, and what they do is they go, I'm the gimmick from the curtain to the point where they go into the wrestling ring, and then they do wrestling,
Mhm.
and they never wrestle as the gimmick. They just wrestling what they taught themselves or learnt it or whatever. And then as they leave, they sometimes forget that they're still that they should be doing that gimmick. A lot of people in wrestling now don't understand what the gimmick is. Undertaker got it. Macho Man really got it. And I think that's what's really missing where if you're going to do this gimmick, if you're going to be this persona, fucking believe it. Otherwise, don't do wrestling. If you're not going to do it, if you're not going to commit yourself, then fuck off and do something else.
It's
That's what I think.
it's playing wrestler rather than being a professional wrestler. The people who don't get over with a crowd or don't get over with the audience are the people who you don't believe in because they are what do I think a wrestler should do here, not what would I do here, like what would my quote
Yeah,
unquote character do, what would such and
Yeah.
such do here. Yeah, it's you need to make it real, believable. We all know it's a work. Just make me believe it isn't for a minute, and I'll get behind you. Yeah,
yeah.
That's it.
and Macho Man done that
One
very
more,
well.
one more thing about Macho Man. I have to admit, would you have believed Spider-Man, the 1991 film, if it wasn't for Macho Man making Spider-Man be Spider-Man himself? Do you know what I mean? He was there in that ring. He gave him the 3 minutes. That's all I need to say about that. That's
You're
all I need to say about that.
you're mine for 3 minutes.
Yes. Get your ass down here, kid. Yeah, he was phenomenal, and it's a shame that most there's some of the people on this list that are gone now, but he's one that I think genuinely hurts sometimes. Where you just go, fuck, he was great,
Yeah.
but you just knew that he wasn't meant to be this old bloke. He, you think, how did he die? He probably went, to death. you know, how did he die? To death.
His star shone
Oh,
bright,
Yeah,
and it shone bright for a short time, didn't it? You can't imagine a 75
yeah,
year old Macho Man coming out going, ooh, yeah, snapping into a Slim Jim. You know what I mean?
but the thing is, though,
yeah.
if he was
He's
alive, he
snapping his
would have.
cock.
He would have though. That's the
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Right, we're getting to the business end now, guys. Number 2 on your list, Paul.
Number one and number two have flitted back and forth a lot. One goes with what I really believe should be number one, and the other aspect is what I think should be number one. So my number 2 is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
I'm a huge Ricky the Dragon Steamboat fan. When you say that comment of the wrestler's wrestler, I truly believe that somebody like Ricky Steamboat is that guy. I find Ricky Steamboat as a wrestler, as a performer, what he does is of the wrestling is second to none. I've never seen a shit Ricky the Dragon Steamboat match. I've watched loads of them, and I genuinely can't. I can say their opponent was a bit off, but he brought out pure magic in everybody that he touched. Even some of the squash matches back in like '92 on Wrestling Challenge or Wrestling Superstars, and he'd come out with the big dragon stuff. At the time, his gimmick, his real
Blow
shitty
his fire.
gimmick, because they didn't know what to do with him.
Yeah.
Yep, his ability to make wrestling look like magic at times. Here's something for you. Name the best wrestling matches of the first 3 WrestleManias, and every single one of them is going to have Ricky Steamboat in there. Every single one. Number 1, I think, is Ricky Steamboat and Greg the Hammer Valentine, and it is fucking brilliant. Greg the Hammer back then was superb. I forget now what number 2 is, but again, it's the best match of the whole of that shitty WrestleMania 2. And then you've got Ricky Macho Man, that one. Look at the trilogy of Ric Flair. I'm kind of repeating myself from what we've done previously, but that's how fucking good Steamboat is. His ability to pull off his moves never look like they were hard work. If you look at, even though Bret Hart is phenomenal what he did, he'd always have this little clunk in them to make it look like it was a fight.
Effortful.
Whereas
Steamboat would be
effortful,
fluid,
yes,
and easy.
Fluid, like paper floating.
His arm drags.
Do you know what I mean?
Ricky Steamboat's arm drags are some of the most beautiful wrestling maneuvers ever done. Ever. The way he sort of goes, he does it differently than everybody, and he would sort of come around with it and almost like land with it. It was just stunning. Yeah.
You'd almost think to yourself, did he touch him?
Yeah.
Is he actually?
Yeah.
Is there actually touch there? And
together, it was it's fucking stunning. Yeah.
He was beautiful. I'm a massive mark for him. Sorry, go on. I speak a lot.
Underrated list, not last week, the week before. I don't know if I said it on the list on the show or whether when we were talking about it afterwards, but Steamboat was nearly got onto my underrated list. He was like one of the last names that I took off there. Because I think people forget about him, if you know what I mean. There's lots and lots of things about Steamboat. I don't know how much you sort of know about Steamboat, but they blamed his wife. I think her name was Connie. They blamed his wife for basically he never got to the position he should have got to because she was just a fucking absolute nose. Most fucking women, to be fair. But basically, I think some things got in the way of him becoming like the superstar that he probably should have been. I think that might have been.
He asked for time off. I think he asked for time off as well when he had a kid. He said he had a kid. He went, "Is it all right if I have a month off or so? So I've worked my bollocks off for the past 6 years. Is it all right if I just have a little bit of time with the family? We've just started this family." No.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, then I'm going to leave then.
See you later.
All right then.
See you in a bit. Yeah.
And somebody of that caliber,
Yeah.
I'd understand if it was Virgil. It'd be like, see ya. See it, fuck off. Don't come back. Don't come back. Bye. Where's that kid with that basketball? We'll have him instead. Just as fucking good. But who on earth would ever get rid of Steamboat? I know he's not Japanese or anything, but that it's almost like Tai Chi. How his moves were. They were just so.
Yeah, we've spoken about him
I
and
don't know.
Flair before.
Absolute cinema. Absolute cinema. That's what it is.
Him and Flair, like they said, they didn't have to speak. They would just like do that with their eyes, or they would like open up, or they would look,
Yeah.
or they would know. It was like almost like telepathic, like how they knew. And
Yeah.
that trio
Yeah.
match, those 3 matches in '89, fuck my life, incredible. So yeah, we speak about those matches as like a bit of a litmus
all the
test for
time.
lots of stuff. So yeah, I didn't. That surprised me, Paul, him coming out at number 2, but it's a pleasant surprise, so I'll take that.
Absolutely. Right, Paul, before you reveal your number 1,
Sorry, go on.
we usually give an opportunity to have an honourable mention. As you're very well aware, you're a long-time listener of Market of 10. Okay, so it's someone to give you an extra 1 place on your list. Is there an honourable mention for your top 10 list of best wrestlers?
There is, and I'm going to be a massive pain in the arse and say there's going to be two honourable mentions. I wrote this about 3 weeks ago, this list, right? I wrote this about 3 weeks ago, probably coming up to 4 now. And there's a name on here which is very significant to right now, and I've mentioned him already. That person's name will be Hulk Hogan. I'm a kid of my generation, and Hulk Hogan literally was a replacement for Jesus for a lot of people, right? He was that fucking important and big. And he was also, when I say replacement for Jesus, yeah, he was telling kids to take the vitamins, go to school, don't do drugs, and don't sleep with your best mate's wife. Do you know what I mean? Oh, he did do that, yeah.
Do as I say, not as I do.
I do. He has to have a mention because of how significant he was in the wrestling of my time. By not even remotely mentioning his name, I think he's blasphemous. And I know that you had this whole episode about Hulk Hogan, and he was massively important. And I think it's devastatingly wrong to say that, oh, he was shit. That guy's prowess for the business to veer towards to make him look great and everything, yes. But the fucker knew how to make money. He understood how to make money. What was that thing that Kevin Nash said? He said, right, we're going to do this lockup. And he whispered in his ear, said, they've already paid their money. Don't worry about it. We're already here. Chill out.
Down. Yeah.
Absolutely. And that is still significant to what we're saying about the UK indie scene and the wrestling scene right now. Slow it down. Do you want to? You can have 10 quid now, but you can also have 10 quid next month and another 10 quid the next month. Why are you going to shoot your load right now? Do you know what I mean? Wrestlers forget to feel the tits. Do you know what I mean? Feel the tits, guys. Feel the tits. Anybody can orgasm. Anybody can come in their pants. Feel the tits, guys.
We need to feel the tits t-shirt so bad. That's amazing. Oh. So Hogan.
Did you say there was a second honourable mention?
A second one, yes. So you got Hogan as one.
There's
sneak another one.
There's a second one. The reason why there's a second one is because I thought it was blasphemy not to mention Hulk Hogan, and I did write this before he died. But this one should be in this top 10. I'm a massive fan, and there's a little bit of me that goes, is he better than his brother? And it is Owen Hart.
Okay.
I think Owen Hart is massively underrated. It's such a shame that he's just known nowadays for being a pizza. right? But he should be the Owen Hart Pizza Cup. Sorry, Owen Hart. Too soon. Fuck off. It was years ago.
Holy shit!
Well, looks like we're not going to get Martha on this fucking podcast.
Probably should have put this shirt on, should not. To be fair, I don't think you could.
Oh, no.
Owen Hart deserves to be on a list like mine simply because he is possibly the most underrated wrestler of all time. Because people forget how fucking really good he was. Overshadowed by his brother. If Bret Hart didn't exist, people would be saying how fucking good Owen
That's
Hart
a
was.
great shout.
Because if you look at what he did in Japan as well as, like, say, Calgary, he was as quick and as devastating as people like the Dynamite Kid, just as technical, perfect as his brother. And just like his brother, he couldn't cut a promo for shit as well, right?
Well, Brett always said Owen was better than him, didn't he? Like he always
Yeah.
put him over. He always said he was
Well,
the best out of
yeah,
them.
he didn't say by how much. He didn't say by how much. By 1%. I'm going to kick your leg because of your leg. Do you know what I mean? But his wrestling ability was ace. He would do the what was he'd sometimes do the tiger mask stuff in Japan, didn't he?
Yeah.
In the 80s and stuff. People are just so unaware how fucking technically fucking good. Maybe he's just as good. I don't know. I really don't know. It's
We have this
it's a
conversation
tough one.
every so often. Every time we watch a fucking Owen Hart match or he comes up, we always have a chat about like who was coming into the WWF in a couple of years after he died. So you had like Guerrero, Malenko, Saturn, Angle, Benoit, like all those guys who we could have. He had another 4 or 5 years left in him, like as a good run, easy. Like and like some of the matches he would have had with those guys would have just been fucking insane, wouldn't they? They really would have.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
great shout.
Every single one of them wrestlers as well are from that school of thought of the wrestling.
Yeah.
You look at, I mean, Benoit himself is probably like cut from the
From
same
the same cloth.
mold,
Yeah,
literally cut
yeah,
from the
yeah,
exact.
yeah.
Do you know? I mean, he's 98% Dynamite Kid. Do you know what I mean?
Well, he trained at the dungeon for a bit, didn't he?
There you go.
One
you go.
match, like if we ever done like a top 10 like dream matches kind of thing, just Kurt and Owen. For me, Kurt Angle and Owen Hart, like as a proper featured, you go and have 20 minutes, would have just been fucking.
Tell you what, that's on next week's episode, Hawxy.
There you go. There we go. Great shout, mate. I'm very, very intrigued.
Thank you.
Very, very intrigued who your number one's going to be. The fact that we've had
Yeah,
some
absolutely.
real big hitters and stuff here. I'm really intrigued.
100%.
Take on.
But before we reveal your
Yeah.
number one, Paul,
Yeah.
I want you just to run through from 10 to honourable mention, just as we do normal in Mark out of 10.
So number 10 is Jake the Snake Roberts. Number 9, Scott Hall / Razor Ramon. Number 8, the best in the world, CM Punk. Number 7, The Undertaker. Number 6, Sting. Woo! Number 5, Ric Flair. Woo! Number 4, Bret Hart. Number 3, Macho Man Randy Savage. Number 2, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I like calling him that as well. And the honourable mentions were Hulk Hogan and Owen Hart.
Okay, with bated breath, your number one top 10 wrestler is?
My number one wrestler has always been my favourite wrestler since 1990 and has never wavered, never changed. And I think that's the autism in me. He, he, I think he changed wrestling or was part of that full movement of changing wrestling. So when he was at its peak, he was only around for a few years, but Jesus, he was so significant. And my favourite wrestler of all time is Andre the Giant.
Okay.
You're probably shocked because I've said some incredible hitters here,
Now you've said it, I'm not
and then
shocked.
there's
It's not a shock. I was trying to work out who it could be, but now you've said it, I'm like, of course it fucking is. You know what I mean? Like, of course it is. Yeah.
my love for Andre the Giant has developed over the years. I fell in love with him around about 1990. So being a very small disabled kid, I always had this affinity for people like the Incredible Hulk or just big bastard giants kind of thing of like I wonder what that would be. I still do that now to Dan, who's like 6'5" or something like that. I'm like, what's it like up there? But I've always been enamored by those things. And also being a massive fan of horror films, you just go, shit, yeah, big hulking monsters. So when I saw Andre the Giant in 1919, yes, his best days were way past him, but he was still this 7 foot, 7'4" guy, as well as wide at the time as well. But you just go, this guy's fucking huge, just massive, and he's you think, what's going on? Not long after I got a chance to watch WrestleMania 3, and I wasn't bothered about Macho Man and Steamboat as a 11 year old. I wanted to see David versus Goliath, and I saw Hulk Hogan take down, this fucking beast. And as you get older, you go, it's not that great of a match, but it did everything it needed to. It had all of those elements of, oh, Hulk Hogan's getting the beat down, and he's just this thing. And when he picks him up, you just go, holy shit! He lifted up that big fat bastard. Do you know what I mean? You just think, fuck. It's like me mom trying to get me dad to bed kind of thing. But come on, shift he was that immovable force that Gorilla Monsoon always talked about. That's what he was. And after a period of time, you start going, well, what are the things as Andre the Giant done then? And you start realizing, holy shit, in the 70s, he was the main attraction of wrestling because even though Hulk Hogan became this whole massive thing, you realize that Vince McMahon Sr. was like, we've got Andre the Giant. You want him for your promotion? He's going to cost 250,000. You can have him for a week. There you go. And going he's over it. I mean, he wrestled in Dudley. If you can believe that, guys, he wrestled in Dudley, Andre the Giant, back in the
Did
70s.
he?
One,
Wow.
yes, I found that out at
Why
the
didn't I
funeral
know
that
that?
I went to. My mate was telling me,
Wow.
and he was like, "Yeah, Andre the Giant wrestled at Dudley." I was like, "Fuck!"
That's incredible.
Why did I not know that?
You just think how much that would have cost to try and get him back in the 70s over to do a bit of a European run. Maybe did it when he was popped home for a couple of months or something, but how incredible is that? Andre the Giant came to Britain to do some stuff. You wouldn't believe it, would you?
That is
That's amazing.
incredible.
But you think of what an attraction Andre the Giant is. I mean, you watch the documentaries where Hulk Hogan's saying, "Oh, people used to look at Andre the Giant and be this." But imagine seeing Andre the Giant at his peak, say around about, say, 77, right? Let's say 76, 77. He's got a big bouffant hair. He hasn't got the weight on him yet. He can probably still do that weird spring thing that he could do. And you think, 7 foot odd? How are you meant to do that? And he was massive. And I always liked the Vince McMahon interviews, like in the early 80s, where he'd be talking to him. And Andre the Giant's like on this like truck or something like that to make it this bit bigger. And Vince McMahon was doing this. It just brilliant. He was a spectacle. He was the ultimate wrestling spectacle. Nowadays, you'd probably say somebody like Yokozuna or Big Show, but everybody's tried to imitate what Andre the Giant did. Even now, when you have somebody like Braun Strowman or something, it's always this imitation of what that was. This
That's what
ultimate.
Vince thought. Vince
Okay, so
it with Big Show, didn't he? He tried to mold that
yep.
thing like if the Undertaker is the greatest gimmick of all time, then Andre the Giant is the greatest attraction of all time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's been many superstars. There's been Hulk Hogan's, Stone Cold. There's been your John Cena's. There's only ever been one Andre the Giant. You know, it's that one attraction. It's like often imitated, never duplicated. You know, it's someone we'll never see the likes of again.
Yeah, 100%. That's a great shout, Paul. That's a great shout.
Yeah.
Great list.
I had him as a figure as well as a kid, and I just loved it because he was always taller. He had his big gut.
That is a really, really strong list for our first guest in Market of 10. But we're not finished yet. There's a few questions we need to ask just before we finish up, Paul, if you don't mind. So obviously you've got a whole host of different people on this list, right? That you've watched from when you're a young kid, like you say, 10, 11, 12 years old. But since you've worked in wrestling, has working in wrestling changed the way you view it as a fan?
From the, I'll just ask that question with it like a little bit of more of a not context, but more of a sort of a point. You know, the day that you came backstage the first time and you got involved in all that sort of stuff, and you were seeing how everything was happening, and you were seeing sort of the peek behind the curtain. When you watch stuff now, understanding things, and maybe when you've been at a training session, maybe when you've heard people get taught or what to do, blah 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 blah. Do you think is there a way that you think about things differently now when you watch it? Do you watch it? What do you watch in the fan's eye, or do you watch it in like, I kind of know what's happening now?
For me, for being a fan for so long, you can't help but never take out that aspect that I'm a fan. That I'm a fan of wrestling. No matter even if it's the people that I know and I know exactly what's going to happen in whatever match. There's always this aspect of the fan in there, and thank God I'm like that. I couldn't imagine being into wrestling for 6 months and then I'll go wrestling training, because then you have this disconnect on what is an expectation of an audience. When I'm an audience, I want the heel to be an arsehole. I want the babyface to be He-Man-esque. Do you know what I mean? I want them to be exactly what I expect them to be. So as somebody now that's in the business, and I do that because saying in the business makes out like I'm working at WWE. I'm not. But to me, it is WWE. I want it to be like WWE. And I always say, why not? I think the best place to be in wrestling is that gorilla position. If there's a monitor where you can see what's going on and you're just beyond the curtain and you can see that anticipation, that buzz from the wrestlers that are just about to come on, or their match is next and they're just psyching themselves up. I like being in that position to get the feel of what they're getting, but also seeing that monitor. And I'm critiquing what they're doing. There's a little bit of should have waited 2 seconds for that. Should have just wait. yeah, now do it. Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. Because I think with being an audience, you again, you are having this certain expectation. When there's a level of control with what is about to happen, there is this thing of like, give the audience what they should expect. Give their audience, and I think that's again, I keep saying this, that's missing. If I was to say to anybody that was going into wrestling now, I'd say spend a couple of shows. Just ask your mate if it's your mate that's there. So is it all right if I just hang about the back? And if you do, shut the fuck up and don't say nothing. Just sit there and watch. Nobody wants your view, right? Nobody gives a fuck about your opinion. Just sit and observe. Just sit quietly and observe. And that's something again in wrestling nowadays that people don't do. They don't sit and observe and listen. Just watch. Watch how they do things. Watch how they present themselves as they just about to leave, and then the curtain comes, and they become that character. Watch what the audience are doing on your left and to the front of you, and as you go round that ring, what is the audience doing now? And it's all right to speak to that audience right at that front, but there's also an audience member right at the back there. You can't see them because the lights are on you, but they're there. They're there and they're watching every single thing that you're doing. But you've still got to talk to that audience. You've still got to emote to that audience. You've got to do it. So to me, it is different, but also is the same. I couldn't. This. I sometimes wish I could divide myself up for when I'm doing my stuff to experiencing it at the first time. Because watching it back, you can go, "Oh yeah, we recorded it." It's just not the same. It's never the
Yeah,
same than sitting there and
experiencing it.
me having a go at me having a go at Dan holding a sign up. You know, your mom's a such and such. You know what I mean? Or or getting involved in that way. There's a wonderful thing about being an audience member as well as a performer. It's I wish I could do both at the same time,
Yeah.
and I can't.
Yeah.
But it's
The advice that I always give somebody, like I've trained people in the past, blah 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 blah. I've had conversations with other guys who've come to me for like advice and stuff. Like the simplest bit of advice I could give to anybody, um, is do what you would want to do, like what you do what you would want to see if you were there. If you're paying your own money, and what do you like doing? Because you're not going to be the only person there who likes that kind of thing. So just do what you want to do, and like I said, from a fan or a worker's perspective, you can sort of tie them both together. Like I wrestle my matches in the way that I would like to see if I was watching it. You know what I mean? And that's the easiest way to do it. Like it's
yeah,
yeah, it's it, yeah. I think when you're doing like a manager role, it's probably slightly different. Like I watch things. What we had this conversation the other day. We were talking about Karrion Cross,
Mm.
and you said about his work, and I called you up on it. Because I watch it as like a wrestler's perspective and see what he does differently. If you know what I mean, you're probably watching it from like a presentation perspective, if that makes sense. Like it's different. I think everyone watches it in different ways. I think that's what makes it. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah,
I think that's why all three of us are sat here talking about it. It's because there's lots to
absolutely,
talk about, right?
100%.
yeah.
We are close to
I,
the
I
end now.
would say,
Sorry, Paul, you go.
sorry, I was going to say if I could give advice to anybody that would want to be a wrestler right now, I've got 4 words. Right? Don't be a cunt. Right?
Yes, yes.
Very simple. Don't be a cunt. And when I say that, observe and listen. Pay attention to what people are telling you. Pay attention to the people that are telling it to you and make sure that are they an arsehole or not. And also remember one thing. You're not as good as you think you are. You're not as good as you think you are. You might think that you're fucking incredible, But I tell you now, you're probably not.
Good stuff.
Amazingly,
Good
that
stuff.
was actually the next question on my
Oh,
list.
sorry.
So
I,
well
I,
done. That's fucking incredible. It was actually, do you have any advice for anyone starting the business? So that's great. Okay,
Don't be a dick.
blue sky thinking time. Okay, one of the last things we'll ask you on the podcast just now. Is there a wrestling performer? Obviously, you're a heel manager just now. Promos are king for you at the moment. Is there a wrestling star, past or present, that you would currently love to work with?
ooh, okay. Off the cuff answer, it would probably be somebody that's new right now. Somebody like Karrion Cross, as lovely as Scarlet Bordeaux or whatever his name is, right? Take her away. She's great. I don't want to inflict on anything they've already worked, but somebody like Karrion Cross or somebody that just needs to level up with a manager. I'd love to have done somebody like, say, Bron Breakker, or, and I say this again, somebody like Seth Rollins. Fuck him off for a year, bring him back, change his gimmick, and I can't think of what that gimmick would be right now, but it certainly wouldn't be anything that's already happened. It would just be something that is really, he's changed, and I'm going to talk for him because he's not the greatest talker in the world, Seth. Because he can always start a conversation, and about 5 words in, he's lost the trail of thought, and he wings it. Somebody like CM Punk doesn't. CM Punk revels in that idea that he can just talk and talk and talk, and it's fine, it's perfect. Some people have got it. He hasn't got it. If he had a manager, like, say, for instance, a Jim Cornette. Imagine Seth Rollins and Jim Cornette. Oh, with a different gimmick as well, though. Oh, it'd be the best shit
He's a
ever.
fan.
It'd be something like that.
He's a big fan.
He's big. Tyler Black, was it? Tyler Black, back in the day.
He told Jim Cornette told Seth not to sign the TNA contract. He said, "Don't do it to yourself because you won't be here for much longer." I think they were going to offer him $40,000 a year, a contract, and putting him
No
in.
way.
And basically, Jim Cornette talked him out of it and said, "Like, you don't want to do this because you're going to be going to different places. So I wouldn't do that if I were you." Yeah.
Nice. And he went to FCW, was it?
Florida.
The old Florida thing.
Basically NXT,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah.
NXT, yeah.
And the rest, they say,
good
is
call, man.
history.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
But I agree, he's shit on the mic. Fucking bore off.
Better than Bret Hart. Anyway.
Yeah, he's turned into the Penguin, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Seth Rollins.
It's actually a great show. Yeah, 100%. Well, Paul, that's the end. This is an opportunity for you to plug either your merch stuff, your next couple of shows. The floor is yours, my friend.
I've got 4 words for you. 74 Long Lane. Black Country T-shirts.
Check them out. Check them out.
Yeah, that's the business. That's the business. So I mean, thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much. It's got the wrong address on, but it doesn't matter. That's where you want to go. Thanks, pal. 74 Long Lane. Yeah, that's the business. So if you ever want any wrestling merch, come and see me. Yeah, I can sort you out. And thank you for having me on as well.
Pleasure, mate.
I've really enjoyed this. I don't know what you can keep. I don't know what you can keep in it.
We're all right, mate.
Keeping fucking a lot of it. Fuck it.
Absolutely fine.
I'll put my editing hat on. It'll be fine. No, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
If I can plug one thing, because our friend Andrew McBurney died recently, I would like to plug our podcast, which we won't be doing anymore because of it. We won't be doing it anymore. But if you're a fan of comedy and also you're not too akin to being offended, please check out the Weird Arseholes podcast. That'll be ace.
Definitely go and check
It
it
is
out.
a
And you
It's
can
very, very funny
You can-
podcast.
brilliant. Yeah, this is
thank you.
this is
Thank you.
an aperitif to the Weird Arseholes podcast, I think. So yeah, get involved.
Yeah.
No, but that is the end of the episode. Paul, thank you very much again for being our first interviewee on the podcast. It's greatly appreciated. Hope we didn't bore you to tears, but no, it's been great fun.
No.
It's been bloody brilliant. Very, very, very much enjoyed it.
100%. And now to
Thank
our
you.
audience, thank you to everybody that's came along and listened to this evening. If you've enjoyed it, if you have any comments about Paul's list or anything at all, feedback on the episode, make sure you check out www.moo10.com. Leave your feedback and comments. Jesus Christ, I can't even speak. or a voicemail. That'd be greatly appreciated. We've got all our socials, Mark_out of 10 on X, Mark_out of 10 on YouTube and on TikTok, Mark_out of 10 podcast on Instagram, and also come to our streams on twitch.tv/Mark_out of 10. Next week's episode, as I said, we've just made it off the cuff. It's going to be the top 10 dream matches that we can think of. It's going to be a good one, Hawxy. So, wrestling. So from me, Shieldz, have a very nice evening.
From me, Hawxy. Love you. Bye. And from Mr. Paul.
Oh, me, yeah.
See
Mr.
you
Paul, end of.
Good stuff.
Like flicker, shadows fall. Hawxy screaming down the hall. Shieldz got fire in his veins. Calls it out, no time for games.